Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard. I'm joined by Monica Padman. And today we have Ramy Youssef.
We love Ramy.
Boy, oh boy. Wise beyond his years.
Very.
If ever there was an opportunity to say that.
Again, this is his second time. His first go around was a banger.
Yeah, worth checking out the first one. Very spiritual, that one.
Yeah.
He is an award-winning actor. He's a very good friend of David Zaslav's. A comedian, a producer, a director, and a creator. Ramy Mo, Poor Things. Ramy Youssef, Feelings. Ramy Youssef, More Feelings. And his new movie that is out right now on Max or HBO or HBO Max, Mountainhead. Yeah, tasty, juicy. Also, he has a great animated series that is out on Prime now called Number One Happy Family USA. So please enjoy our friend Ramy Youssef.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
I'm really sorry I'm late.
Are you kidding?
Here, let me see if I
This
can
shirt
grab-
feels so. Oh, did you?
That was cute.
There. I did not expect this. This is.
I know. That's Dax's product.
That's a good cream.
This
It's
is amazing.
not-
I told Monica that's $1 million a tube.
This is like really prime shit.
It's not pharmaceutical, even though it does look it.
It looks very pharmaceutical. I've been struggling with eczema, so this is really
Oh,
helpful.
congratulations.
Oh, well, that's going to fix it right
it's
up.
actually what I'm here to talk about today. It's just like no one wants to be open about it, and everyone's just been walking around with. Oh, this is really
How
good.
new are you to eczema? Is it
Dude,
something you had as a kid and has
no.
returned?
I
or
think
it's
so. I've
brand
always
new?
had it on my back,
Uh-huh.
and then a year ago, it was like it wants to do my whole body now.
It
out of
wants to come
nowhere.
out loud and
Like
be
now
in
it's
front.
just like
it could be
the
a
whole-
stress response.
I think it might be.
What's your theory?
I think it's a stress
I think it's stress response.
Does it make
Yeah.
you feel impure and like your spirituality is suffering and this is the physical
I feel like
manifestation
a
of it?
dirty boy.
Ooh, a naughty boy, a bad boy.
Ooh.
It feels.
Did you get bad since we last saw you?
No.
Oh,
It was inevitable. He was too good.
Yeah.
Did you watch Brule, Steve Brule?
No.
Check it out with Steve Brule. Did you ever watch Tim and Eric? That
Yeah, of
comedy
course.
show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes.
With John C. Reilly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he's obsessed with bad boys. He's all bad, but he's a bad guy. Spank his body cherry red.
Oh,
This is my you.
I know.
And I've only done it twice.
My
and you're
your
already
show
done
on
with it.
Netflix.
And I've only done it twice. And you've done you like 20 times.
You do
do you.
You rewatch you?
Okay, no. I watched it for the first
Yeah,
time
yeah.
and I loved it. And
Yeah.
I watched it so fast and
So hard.
So hard. And I was very torn because it was kind of sexy, but he was a serial killer.
Did you watch you?
I watched a bit. I mean, Penn, he pulls it off. I
He
mean, you're a little
does,
bit just
right?
like.
This guy's sick. You're like,
he's
this guy's
fucking-
twisted.
It's
But
hot.
he's doing it for love. He's killing for love and we can all relate. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That
Don't
was a
worry.
test.
Have
That
you,
was a
have you, I remember last time Dax was trying to get you set up. Have you met anyone or?
Nope.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
For the way that
do you
you-
think it makes sense now that you've heard
She's
my
like, a serial killer is really
explanation?
hot. And I'm like, and you, still,
So where are we at?
Still searching, right?
Well, it's a very narrow.
Interesting, huh?
The net she's throwing is like not even a net. It's
Yeah.
just one string.
It's a
hoping,
thimble
Yeah,
connected
hoping-
to a
And there's just
string.
not an app that's like open enough to really,
It's really
you know.
not.
Sexy
That
serial
other guy's
killer.
in prison, you know? That
Do you
one
think-
other guy.
Do you think next stop might be dating an incarcerated man? Okay.
I'm kidding. I am not for, what's his name?
Penn Badgley?
Mangione.
Oh, Luigi?
Luigi. I'm not for that. I'm
Um,
not for vigilante justice.
I mean, have you seen the Luigi fanfic?
Exactly. It's great.
Is fanfic short for fan fiction?
Fanfiction, yeah.
Okay. And people write imaginary tales about their life.
Yeah, it's
with
like
him?
cartoons of just like, yeah, like people kind of, yeah, like really. I mean, I get it. I
do?
get it. Oh yeah, of course I get it.
Tell me
yeah,
more.
Yeah, go
Elaborate.
on. Yeah.
Oh, the Luigi, which part? The fan fiction or just the whole Luigi?
All of it. Like you get why people are obsessed with
Oh,
him.
of course. Yeah. It's like, it's class. It's like he's
Yeah, I
a,
know.
he became like a Robin Hood type figure.
A very
know.
dark
Yeah,
Robin
that's
Hood.
what it is.
But he didn't get any of the money back, and that's kind of
He didn't
Robin
get
Hood's
the-
signature move. We
Yeah.
only justify the theft and the killing because he's gotten the money
Yeah,
back
he
to the
didn't
people.
give to the poor.
Yeah.
He just killed.
So he's like an incompetent Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I understand the angst and ire towards
Yeah, of course.
the
Me too,
medical
obviously.
field for sure.
Yeah.
and corporations.
Yeah, but I don't think that's you can't kill people.
No. Well,
Yeah, we gotta agree. We
I
agree
think
on so little in this country. I feel like we must normally.
Seemingly, we can't agree. That's what's crazy. Is I think some people really are like, yeah, that was the right move.
And I'm gonna be honest. There was probably a moment in my life where I would have been much more supportive of what he did.
Right.
I can acknowledge that.
Right.
Like
when you had less money.
when I was dead broke and disenfranchised.
Weird.
It's just weird. Like
Yeah.
I don't know when it changed.
I don't know. All of a sudden, I don't
Yeah.
quite relate to what Luigi did. This
Well, I think it's
cashmere
twofold.
shirt.
Yes, I have money, and also when I was younger, I just was up for more gnarly resolutions. to things.
right.
I am obsessed with justice. We are obsessed with justice.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
there is a line.
Of course there is.
What if we leave this? We all leave this interview as like huge Luigi
What if we
supporters.
hear that Ramy's for killing? That's the takeaway.
Wait, did we
He would have confirmed a lot of suspicion.
like, did we? Is this?
Oh, we've been starting.
Are we rolling?
We're always rolling.
That's so funny.
Where are you coming from now? You've been really busy, yeah?
I'm touring right now. I'm touring a new hour, but yeah, the year's been crazy because I was. We did this movie like really quickly this year.
Mountainhead. Why was it so quickly?
So Jesse Armstrong pitched this thing in December,
Oh my goodness. And it's
I
on
think-
television right
and it's
now?
on television. Yeah.
I
This is
can't-
really wild.
Wait, he pitched it in December of 2024?
Yeah.
And it was a spec he had already written it, I presume?
No.
He pitched it, wrote it.
He just was like, I think he was doing a book review and then started, that was in the tech world, and he started going into the tech world and listening to these guys and also seeing like the AI moment that we're barreling towards, and then he got obsessed with the story, and he said, oh, I think because he obviously, in writing Succession, he built out this legacy media family for a really long time, but then I think he started looking at these characters and saying, oh, the landscape is moving so fast that if you were to do it in a series, it would change by the time
Oh, yeah.
Also, even if he waits for it to be released until December of 2025, it's probably obsolete.
outdated.
Yeah.
And I thought it was such a brilliant, I think kind of fearless way of, everyone's so precious.
Mhm.
And especially a guy like him too, who such a, one of the top television shows of all time,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
could be very precious about, all right, what's my next thing?
Yeah.
What's the thing? And I thought it was so fearless to just be like, you know what? I'm
doing it.
obsessed with these characters and I have this relationship with HBO.
Yeah.
Why not use the streaming moment to put something out in this way that I really relate to it as a stand-up, even not that I like put a lot of stand-up online or anything. It's not what I do, but the idea of being, oh, this is so pressing. I want to get it to the people right away. And so I
Yes.
thought it was so cool that he said, you know what? This is such a pressing moment.
Yeah.
I want to do it right now.
How long was the production of it? Because it's a film, it's a feature-length film, and generally on the very light side, we would get 24 days, and on the nice side, we'd get 45 days.
Yeah.
So what were you guys at?
I think, that's where it was interesting. I think the burden wasn't so much on the shoot itself.
Okay.
I think all the burden was before and after. A lot of movies happen in 24 days.
Yeah.
This was 21 or 20.
Okay, great.
So it's not, and it was a one location film too.
Yeah.
it's very much
so-
a play.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is like a play. That made it all really achievable. I don't think on set we felt that way, but I think, the other piece was, and the dialogue is so dense.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. Not easy to learn and very, very long talky scenes. I'm presuming there was like 5 and 6 page scenes in there that you were.
That was
having
the
to-
shortest scene.
Oh.
The shortest scene.
The scenes were averaging clocking out at like 13 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I got the script on a Thursday and he said, could you be in Utah on, Tuesday to rehearse? It was one of those.
Wow.
And I think for me, it was such a fascination too of the Succession crew and all those, all the producers, writers, and who were a lot of them were part of the show or part of the movie.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I got to go freaking hang out with
Oh,
these guys.
God,
This is
yeah.
unbelievable.
Our man Steve Carell, he was burdened with all the tech genius level dialogue.
He plays that Peter Thiel kind of, I mean, I don't think that's really, Jesse did such a good job of not actually assigning. Everyone's an amalgamation of many people.
Yeah.
But, he has this, he kind of plays this tech grandfather type who knows so much of that jargon, who has all that kind of stuff. And I do think Steve was probably the first person cast, so he did have it the longest. But yeah,
But, oh my God,
I know,
daunting.
dude.
This is the project, by the way. We had Nick Kroll on, and he was talking about how he auditioned for a project he wanted so bad, and he didn't get it.
Oh,
And this was it.
This is it. This is a big reveal.
And I'm
I didn't know
guessing
that.
it would have been your role.
Now I got to call Kroll
Uh-huh.
just to be like,
Rub it in. Yeah.
fucking sucker. I love Kroll so
Oh,
much.
he's
Sure.
fantastic. Who doesn't?
Yeah, he's hard to hate. Okay, so, but let's back up. 'Cause
It's like, I've tried.
I'll do my best.
You said it like, I had a couple of months I was trying to hate him and I really couldn't do
I
it.
don't hate anyone. I hate one person.
You do? Who?
It's because they did something to you, I'm guessing.
No, not at all.
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance. Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yeah. He's easy.
He's a guy that I just want to punch. I
Right.
don't want to try to hash it out verbally.
Right.
I just want to walk up to him and just drop him and then keep walking. And I asked my wife, which she never condones violence, and she said I could.
Right. She said you could.
That's the only person we know that she said I could.
That's who you would have your Luigi-esque
Yeah,
moment
he's just
with.
such a fucking bully.
It's interesting actually lately seeing him like he's kind of running out of some of his own talking points, and then you see him kind of make a circle and kind of go, wait, I might have been wrong about a couple things. He is.
Oh, really? He's in a
Oh,
self-reflective phase?
interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't take it so far.
Okay.
It's just, I almost think sometimes it's like he's just talks so much that he ends up in a circle. And so-
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I aspire to changing this whole plan to a hug.
yeah.
I prefer to hug him.
So it starts off
But-
fists up and then it becomes a hug.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched this doc about the this trans woman who invented this car. I think it was on HBO.
No.
She had this car company and it was in the 80s. And there was this one Orange County journalist who was fucking obsessed with her. And
Yeah.
he wanted to out her as being a man. And he dedicated like hours and hours of his stupid Orange County news show to it.
Mm.
And you're watching this and you're like, God, this guy's such a dick. He's so obsessed with this woman. Just let this woman do her thing. It's Tucker Carlson's dad. This is who he grew up with. This
Dude,
guy.
And
who,
that's
like,
the thing.
I
yeah, and you want to
know.
make your dad proud.
Well, then that almost makes me think that like he's like that, thing that you're planted with, just in your lineage. There is a point in your adulthood where you kind of start to shake it and go, is that really me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now I'm seeing you having this moment with him where you kind of go, dude, what if that's not you?
I know what you inherited.
Yeah.
But come on.
Come on,
We got to
dude.
do a little bit better.
We could do better. We could up
Yeah.
it.
Do you hate anyone? Can you even
Yeah,
admit
that's what I
that?
wanted to ask.
It's interesting. Like I don't think I can ever go that far.
Yeah.
Is the reality of it?
I feel a little dishonest even saying I hate Tucker Carlson.
I don't
but
think
he
you
is-
do. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's like I think he raises your testosterone to
Yeah,
want to like be like, ugh. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there are people who create anger.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was really funny. I did one of those like Subway takes thing where I basically like said that
Oh.
I think that everyone is just inherently good and people just have viruses.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got a lot of hate for it.
You did.
People kind of messaging being like, no, there are people who are purely evil. There's this, there's that. And I tripled down on this, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, I think it's really important to know who you can't be around.
Mhm.
Right. And I think about it just like a contagious virus. I think about there are people I really loved who had COVID. We cannot be in the same room if you have COVID.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So it's like if you are plagued with these things, whether they're through your lineage or whether you got into a cycle of greed, violence, pain infliction, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Fear that led to one of those things.
fear that led to
Yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah.
Then it's like, I can't, so it's really clear to know who you can't be in the room with. You
Right.
could even call them an enemy if
Yeah.
the way that they're letting their various spiritual diseases or whatever they have overtake them, that it's so against what you do and what you
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah.
Right. But to say that they themselves are evil,
Bad, yeah.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think some people are so sick. I mean,
Mhm.
they are, and many die without ever getting healed.
Yep.
But I don't think that their core is evil.
Yeah.
No, nor
I'm
do
with
I.
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because then again, I think once you start acknowledging the level of self-aggrandizement and self-indulgence it takes
Yeah.
to say that person's bad and that I'm good, the inverse of that is I'm good. So I was born good and they were born bad.
Weird.
That's a weird place to be coming from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, or that if I were in their exact same position, I would be superior to them and I would have a different outcome.
Yeah.
Is really quite dismissive. And
It feels like this like Marvelification. But even if you watch a Marvel movie, you always kind of see that part of the bad guy, like why he's the bad guy, right?
Yeah,
Like it's never.
Well,
that's the
hopefully-
interesting part.
There's always a danger that you could go that way.
Yes,
and I think that's
exactly.
the whole nature of it. And so when you try to kind of create this distance, but then look, you have these obvious, people who've killed people in mass and who do all these things, and they are just they are the sickest
Yes.
individuals that we've encountered, in
Yeah.
our
yeah,
society.
we got to carve out psycho and sociopaths, but
diseases.
But those are literal diseases.
They are diseases.
Yeah.
yeah, people are the product of their context for the
Yeah.
most part.
So I'm trying to think if I hate because I could say this is where I feel maybe fortunate to say that, or incredibly fortunate and a lot of gratitude that I can't pinpoint my pain or my suffering to somebody. But I think there are plenty of people who might have a really good case for hating somebody, especially people who have been abused.
I do think some things come easier to us than other things just through our genetics. And one of the things that I think I've not been plagued with a ton is I don't get consumed too much with people I'm mad at.
Mm.
And this is a great segue because one of my questions completely on show business related, because you have such a fun philosophical and spiritual mind. I was thinking, could we do like your assessment, like a health check-in with America? Because I think there's a very interesting thing happening right now. And I'm curious if you agree or disagree at all with my observation. What do you think's happening right now?
I think it's like health assessment wise, the Trump thing is like I used to have cystic acne.
Again, congrats. You have eczema, cystic acne.
Eczema. Yeah, the eczema is clear.
Some skin
You're
issues.
one
Working
away
on all
from a
these things.
trifecta of blessings.
Yeah, it's kind of like an EGOT of skin things. It's like the cystic acne is so interesting because it's kind of just like it's always there. It's always just like right underneath. And so I really did view the Biden run as like, okay, you tamed it for a second, but man, it's still really under there. And so we just have stuff we have to deal with, you know. And I think that it's I don't like that this is how we have to deal with it. It's not, I didn't want him to be in, but how surprised were any of us that it happened again? And I think it's just kind of knowing like the shock of, the sequel was not the same shock as when it first initially occurred.
Right. That's what I'm really honed in on. First, also, Monica had cystic acne. I think she would want you to know.
You look stunning.
Thank you so much.
It really worked out.
Thank you.
No, this podcast money has like really.
It's really that's what did it. That's what did it. No,
Yeah,
it's Jen.
angst.
Jen at Corrective Skincare. Got to give her a huge shout out.
Dude, shout out Jen.
And watch
Shout
you
out
and
Jen.
watch the pit.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did say I do too, but it was quiet.
Oh, you did? You really?
Yeah.
Okay. What I think I'm observing, and I hope I'm observing, is like, this go around hasn't been met with the same all-encompassing obsession with everyone, which is nice. And my explanation for that is, I think hopeful, which is I think we are all, both sides, in this kind of collective hangover of having hated half of the country for 10 years, resenting half of the country, feeling superior to half the country. I think carrying that like hate and resentment and superiority and self-righteous indignation, I think it's really fueling for a while. And then I think it just runs out of steam. And I think everyone's just like, just fatigued by it, which I find oddly encouraging.
Well, yeah, because you kind of hope that, even to use your fatigue, you're, pinpointing that exhaustion, you kind of hope that people kind of just emerge from that.
Like we did that. It's not very fun. I don't like hating half the country. I don't like judging half the country.
It doesn't work, and there is just this massive diversity of thought and thinking and how people, are. But what's really, it's like we have an integrity issue at the core. We have a hypocrisy issue at the core. And so I think even, the Luigi thing, right? It's really interesting because it's like, ultimately, and this is just to really follow the logical, train of thinking here. It can be viewed as an act of war, You know what I mean? It can literally be viewed that way. And I think that's how people are viewing it. And so on one end, people kind of go, well, no, the act of war is just for like, you know, the people who are in our military. And then you kind of go, all right, well, what are they doing? Right. And then you tie that to what's happening in LA, you know, I don't know when this airs, but you see what's happening with these ICE raids and you go, well, that's illegal. You know what I mean? So the people who even trusted to do things are violating, they're doing a ton of war crimes, whether those crimes are happening in America itself or we're seeing them happen, you know, overseas, we're seeing them happen in Palestine, we're seeing them happen everywhere. So you kind of go, all right, well then like, who's allowed to do an act of war and how does that go? So it's top down. So when you have like an integrity crisis that comes from every single party, an integrity crisis that comes from just like, because I actually think the Constitution's dope. I think it's sick.
It's not
and I
bad,
think checks and balances are like pretty good. It is a pretty good document.
It's a dynamite doc.
It's pretty good. It's not being fulfilled with its integrity. So everything is a symptom of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, people can kind of go, oh, you know, and this is where I think it becomes really, for me, I'm always more focused with like the top down issue because almost everything just is a symptom of that, you know?
Yeah, I guess this go around of protests, again, seems to have the energy I would be hoping for, which is like, if you see something you disagree with, you should go actively oppose it.
Yeah.
Now, should you then go, the forces behind this theory are evil, and then I extend to anyone who supported that person then is by proxy evil. If you're using it to fuel this conclusion, you have the half the country's evil. Yeah. I just think but go oppose the thing. Yeah. And then also I'm endlessly entertained by the flip-flopping of what side of an argument we're on. So right now, California doesn't mind immigrants. Yeah. We don't mind. Yeah. We like it.
Let us keep them.
We don't have an issue with it. Yeah. And so we are currently in a situation where we believe greatly in states' rights. Yeah. And we are now cemented in our state right to kind of design the world we want to live in this state. Yeah. And we're in favor of that. But if your state, the majority doesn't want abortion, we're like, well, no, but that's not a state right that you should have. Yeah. So, and I'm not in favor of outlawing abortion, but I am aware of the fact that we all borrow and trade these concepts we believe in as they suit us. Yeah. So I just think there's an interesting states' rights things that we're not normally on the left super states' right, because that usually represents slavery and outlawing abortion. Yeah, yeah. But in fact, in this case, I think states should decide if they don't mind immigrants. Like, it's cool. If you don't want them in Alabama, that's all up to y'all to decide. It's a democracy. Here, we don't care. Get out of our business. We're not bothered by this.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like, it's such a massive leadership issue. And I think I view this from, you know, because you've been, how many parts of shows, you know, TV shows, films, whatever you've been part of, when like the director knows what they want, it's so much smoother than when they don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you could even go even further, because what's really going on and what would mirror a director is when you get an actual sense through proof, they don't know.
Oh, then people start doing crazy stuff, you know. Yes. Then people are like, I don't need to show up on time. I don't need this. I don't need to do that. Yeah.
And so if I don't know what movie he's making, but I know what movie I want to be in. Yeah, I'm gonna act that way.
Look, the only thing I'm qualified probably to talk about is like making TV, right? So if I put that lens on,
and spirituality.
If I put that lens on of just like, what is it? That's where everything starts to be crazy. Where you go, okay, like. Yeah, okay, you have the people who are directing and show running, and then you have the network, and you have all these like competing interests. Yeah. But you look at this country, there's just a massive leadership issue. So it's like no one's doing what the script is. Right. No one has like a unified vision.
There's no script supervisor.
There's no script supervisor.
There's no respect. Like, you know, there's no respect for anyone.
So this would on a micro level crumble. Yeah. You know, and so of course it's crumbling. Yeah. You know,
like the terrorist thing would be like if your director said like Italian accent today. Yeah. And the next thing, you're not doing Italian accents. Those are over. Next day, Italian accent's back. Yeah.
Well, then this is what happens, you know, where the frustrating thing for me is like when you look at something like Gaza and then people go, well, why do we care about that? And I go, we are executive producers on that project. Like we actively are funneling money into it. We're not passive producers. We're not. I would say America's a passive producer on most of the world. Yeah, it's not a. No. We're in the room.
Yeah,
that's why I care. You know what I mean? And there's other things going on that we have our hands in so many things as Americans, but this one is like, whoa, no, we are. We're almost co-creators. I mean, we are hands-on. That's why I care. Because then you go, that actually threatens my identity as an American. And I feel that it goes against the thesis of why I want to be here. And then it ties into the same type of aggression that you see with like ICE agents in LA. Because then you go, wait, they're just pulling in people because they look brown. And you go, what is that? And then you got to kind of think, well, unfortunately, like I've been condoning that kind of rampant thing, where there's a thread of something that can be legitimate, but then it gets turned into, whatever the hell that somebody wants, right?
That's the other terrible sense you get, that this is all very theatrical. I was saying to Monica yesterday, I was like, it's upsetting and it's completely ineffective. Obama deported more people.
Just to poke a hole there, I think it's the way it's happening is what's causing so much outrage.
Well, that's my point. It's theatrical,
yeah,
and that's
it's without
what he
due
does.
Process. Yeah.
And then what we do is respond in our theatrical way. And one of us has to stop the pattern.
But this is your earlier point when you're talking about people like that exhaustion is what I think it's like, okay, can we be tired and exhausted of the theatrics? Yes. Can we lose the performance? Can we lose this idea that we actually give a shit about decorum?
That's why I like these protests. Like I've been watching some of them and they have a different vibe to them. And it's a ton of Latinos, which I love. It's not a bunch of white young girls. I hate to say that.
Which is also fine.
It's fine.
And again, because to your point, Ramy, like they want to live in a country that they believe is doing the right thing.
Yeah, I know, but they can have a righteous indignation as opposed to the authentic, this is my survival.
Monica and I are like, we are not taking the anti-young white girl stance.
Yeah, I love
we need
young
them.
white girls.
I need those women.
That's also true as a minority.
They hold half my fan base down.
That's right.
I need those young white women, and white women who are listening, I love you.
If I'm seeing,
I want to be you.
If I'm seeing someone throw a Molotov cocktail in a crowd, I want it to be the person that's oppressed and not the entitled person who's helping. That's just my preference.
But here's the thing. I love this interview. The Molotov cocktail being thrown by the white woman is actually her being like, you know what? I know that I'm not going to be the ire of the class storyline, of the immigrant storyline. Therefore, I will throw a Molotov cocktail because they're never going to say white women are throwing Molotov cocktails.
100%.
But the second they get a whiff of someone who's Latino or Muslim or black doing something, they're going to paint the whole community.
Yes.
So the white girls are like, I'm going to, sacrifice.
I know the narrative.
That's their whole, that's their whole thing.
I respect that to an extent. Like these people actually can't throw the Molotov cocktail, so I'm going to step up and do it.
All right, I lost 2-1. That's all right. I don't mind. I concede.
As an owner of 2 young white women, white girls.
Yeah. I'll tell them they're only allowed to protest abortion issues.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to be wrangling them into all kinds of causes, minority causes.
I'm going to be parading them up and down the protest line.
I sure am.
Well, the thing too is like, and this is like the we're entering, I just keep thinking about the reality collapse that we're in, which is no one knows what's real and what's not, and no one knows what to trust and what information is actually legit. Okay. And I think that's the thing that just feels like it's getting even more amplified.
Do you think that personally? Because I think I know the difference. And I have a hunch you think you know the difference. And I think Monica knows the difference. And I think this is part of the self-righteousness. I think we think our opponents don't know the difference.
Of what? Of what's fact and not?
What's real and what's not real in the news.
No.
I mean, I think...
Do you think you really can't delineate?
I think that my point of how I filter what I see, I would hope is elevated beyond my own self-interests.
Right.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
My hope is how I filter the information and how I look at what the facts are would be outside of my realm of comfort.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm able to look at things, I would hope, and say, yeah, look, like someone wants to say this thing about, Muslims, and I can actually put together why you want to put that together, but I can then step it back also and understand, well, this is why, a Muslim might be in a certain position, like whatever it is,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like that's my goal. But I know a lot of people that I deal with are not. People tend to ruminate and tend to be stuck in a certain thing. And I really understand why they're stuck. And I really understand why they're hung up.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so we all have our pet things that really, really bother us, and you just nailed mine, which is I believe you, and I think it's incumbent upon you to extend that same belief in everyone else. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't say I can delineate the difference, and I think what you're doing perfectly, and what I think I'm good at is you can see incentives when you hear people talk.
Yeah.
You assess the incentive. Okay, well, they have this incentive because they have this worldview and they want this to be true. And you can correct for that, like you're a scientist. And I think a lot of us think we are able to do that. And we're not extending that to other people. And that to me is really dismissive. And that's where you get into like the elite problem we have. And I think it's very dismissive of people.
You're looking at it from one side, but I think it could be the other, that I have incentives. Like, and you do too.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you're capable more than those other people. I think we're all in the water and we can do our best, but I think we're all subject to confirmation bias and we're all kind of looking for the thing that we want to get validation.
I agree, but do you think you're able to delineate between what's fake and real
But
news?
sometimes me and you have talked about this, like, and you've agreed with me that you don't think everyone is, we're not the same.
Right. We don't have a standard intelligence.
It's not just intelligence. We're not the same across the board on anything as far as discernment.
Right. But then I agree with you 1,000%. But my fear is that you think you can isolate one group that suffers from that more than another group. And I don't think you can. That's what I'm trying to extend to everyone. It's like it's equal across the spectrum. We're all equally good. We're all equally trying. We're all equally flawed. We're all equally not discerning when it comes to news. That no one has a monopoly on this. No one is superior.
I think we're all of those things, but individually, we all have different levels.
1,000%. But do you think the individuals who are savvier have all made their way to one side, and the ones that are not savvy? Okay,
no, yeah. I mean, I just think that people are, look, I act differently on a rainy day and a sunny day. Mm-hmm. And I can be aware that someone who I'm dealing with is in the middle of like a rainstorm that's been going on for months. Yeah. Right. So that's kind of how I look at it. Right. Where I go, given that you weren't in that, we would be at the same level of discernment. Mm-hmm. I am not, questioning anyone's ability to have a wide universal discernment. Mm-hmm. What I am aware of is the particular weather and the particular thing that's happening that I know if I was there, I don't know that I would be where I am because I'm different. Like, today I'm having a good day, but another day I'm really not.
I just think that the thing that people really need to police themselves about is that when you disagree with somebody and they have an opposite point of view, if you are forced to make a character assessment about them, to justify why you have a difference of opinion. Like basically, if you knew what I knew, you would have my opinion. That kind of thought process, I think, is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where are you seeing that play out, I guess?
On both sides entirely. So like both on the left, well, if they really understood science, they would think this way. If they really understood the real timeline of our geology and not a biblical timeline, they would think this way. If they understood... Just name it. If they understood science, they would understand global warming. On the right, they're like, if they just understood how that 250,000 people are coming in a month, and that's untenable. If they accepted that and acknowledged it, they would think like us. So I just think when you have to come up with an excuse that's a character flaw for why they think that way, as opposed to, hey, guess what? People have different opinions. Right. And then people aren't morally superior or inferior because they have different opinions. They just think there's different ways to get to good outcome.
I agree with that. Yeah. I do agree with that. I think that there are people who are just like, I have the same data as you. And as I see it all kind of come in, this is what I believe to be true.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert.
you dare. I was at a conference, and then lo and behold, Jared Kushner did like a 45-minute fireside chat, and I was like, "Wow, what's this going to be like?"
Yeah.
And I listened to the guy, and at the end of it, I had to say, like, he's extremely intelligent,
of course.
Oh, like hyper intelligent,
Of course.
Yeah, he went to
and
Harvard.
he has a very cohesive worldview.
Mhm.
He has very honorable goals for the world, and I disagree with the approach.
But not everyone has honorable goals. Like, can't we say that, or you don't want to say that?
Well, all I'll say is, yes, some people don't have honorable goals, but no side. You can't actually put those people in one group or
That's
the
fine.
other.
No one's saying that.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
saying
you know,
that.
I mean, Jared in particular, I mean, like the way that he, you know, operates, it's really interesting because it's like, I think he is, I've heard him talk and he's super, he's super smart. I've heard him on podcasts and like, look, no one's where they are by accident.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There was a moment I thought he was there by accident. I'm like, oh, his girlfriend's
like
dad became president. Now he's the ambassador to the Middle East. Good luck, my friend.
It's true.
I kind of thought it was nepotism.
Sure. No. He's super sharp, but I also think that he has, you know, cultural, racial, racism, blindness. I think that these guys do look at certain swaths of the world and just essentially like, it's very convenient. You know what I mean? There is a lot to what they're saying that is honorable, but when you strip it back, you realize it is honorable for a certain group of people, you know, and it tends to be that they can kind of be like, no, we're not racist. We sit with the Saudis and the Qataris, but it's like, well, right. You're only going to sit with those in that class system who are going to support what you want to do financially. So it's like, there's a caveat. So it's like, hey, I'm for every man in Ohio, regardless of where they're at financially. And I'm for anyone in the Middle East who can bankroll whatever the hell I want to do. And you're like, well, that's not exactly honorable.
But I'll tell you, he truly wants peace in the Middle East. And he truly believes that peace will be brokered on economic incentives from the countries. Like that is his worldview on how to get everyone to play nice.
But I think when your worldview is based on economic, you know, goals and economic growth, it's actually, that is racist.
Well, hold on though, not just growth, interdependence.
Yeah.
We would acknowledge that there's a huge force in keeping peace, which is when your economies are interdependent, you can't go nuclear option.
Of course, but I think that, you know, and again, that's like, there's what people say and what people do. So there's nothing policy-wise about what's being done that supports that. So I think, and this goes back to what we keep talking about, which is Constitution's dope. That fireside chat is dope. What he says is dope. What actually happens is none of that.
What's the execution?
And that is why we're living in the era of the con man, because everything they say is great. Everything they do is the opposite of what they said. It's not aligned. And so it's like, and it feels good to hear, and it feels good to be like, oh, cool. Like, you know,
just don't check in with the results.
But don't check in with the next action. Don't check in with the call he makes when he gets in the car after that chat. That's the thing that is like mind-boggling to me. It's like, and now it's like, there's no, the integrity crisis is so deep that it's like, no one even, it's like you can call someone out on the lie and nothing sticks. There's no, and that's because we're so distracted. It's kind of like, oh man, he lied about that thing. Yo, look at this kid like backflipping in Malaysia. This is a sick like TikTok, check that out. You know, we're just so like,
I know.
And that's the reality collapse, right? We're so detached from all of it.
Yeah. I just believe you might be right, and I believe you might be right, and I believe I might be right, but I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure about anything.
I mean, I don't even think that
we're,
I don't even know that we're like necessarily like disagreeing on anything, but it is like there is this the world, people are facing consequences in the world for like our pontification. They are getting, you know, they're facing the brunt of it in this way that is really wild. And I think back to your original question, how we got here, what's going on in America? Well, a lot of America is starting to feel those consequences. And I think that we've been in this, you know, this country geographically is surrounded by so much water that we don't bump up with things in the way that people do in Europe, in the Middle East, and other places.
Yeah.
But that stuff is kind of starting to happen.
We're almost like a guy in a car road raging, like we're safe in our car. We could just antagonize safely from a distance.
Immigration is one of our biggest issues, and that is as a result of being connected to them.
Yeah.
So that goes to show, like, if we had more of that, we would be in more fights and issue. We'd have more issues.
I mean, we have plenty. I mean, and there's people in this country too who are like really suffering like 20 minutes from here. You know, like
Oh,
you know,
God,
like,
yeah.
and that's the other thing too. Is like, so I'm not like painting it like I think, you know, we have people who really, you know, need our help and are trying to figure it out. But yeah, so look, man, I think that right now we're in this, to your question, I hope it's a moment of trying to integrate like genuine integrity in like between what people say and what people do. And I'm curious how that nets out.
There's so much happening so fast, so we will see shortly.
Yeah.
Shockingly shortly.
Yeah.
All these theoreticals are about to
Yeah.
happen in front of our eyes. Well, I just want to say we both put your interview at the top of our list of
So
wonderful
good.
times. And I repeat a lot of different things you taught me in that interview. Most frequently, you had said that, and I could get it a little wrong, but you said the word for human in Arabic is forgetfulness, basically.
There's in that root Arabic word, of insan is nesyan, and you know it's not like the perfect translation, but that word of being forgetful, is so
as a
baked
theme
into
for
our-
humans,
oh
it's a
my
good,
God, it's
it's
so
Yeah.
baked.
Yeah, and I always repeat that, and it's just such an astute observation. So I was reading that you think there are a few words that we should know, like, and you give the example, like, you don't have to be Jewish to know Mazel Tov. We all know what Mazel
Yes.
Tov makes. And your words are haram, halal, inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what these three words mean
Well,
and why you're making a case for these
oh,
to be
that's
the
so
three
funny.
words.
Oh my God, I'm trying to remember when I said
Because
that.
if you want this to happen, we must get
we got to
out
do
these
it here.
definitions.
Well,
yeah.
inshallah is just like God willing. And I think we're fully,
Inshallah.
I think we're fully in inshallah mode right now. This is like, we are fully in this, like, man, like if there's something beautiful about this moment, it is the realization that we all have to let go of control and just be present.
You could say fingers crossed. It's also kind of like saying fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Well,
fingers.
it is what it is.
Fingers crossed. It's a cosmic, sure.
Yeah.
It's a cosmic fingers crossed. It is. Well, the thing is, even when you cross your fingers, it is a level of control. It's
Yeah, it is.
you are physically trying to,
Yeah.
create control in your hands.
Your best attempt.
This is actually, this transcends fingers crossed. This is I'm going to
Accept God's will.
I'm going to, but it's also really important because that's not a passive thing.
Okay.
Is there hope in it?
Totally. There's a
Okay.
ton of hope.
Because God does rad shit sometimes. I mean,
Very much. I mean, think about like, if you were fully in charge of your life, I mean, it would be how many good things that happened to you were because you played a perfect play. No, it's like you fucked up and you were too tired and you regret that thing you said to that person and then still something great happened because it was
Right.
bigger than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
In spite of you.
in spite of you. And the
Yeah.
opposite happens where, sometimes you did do it all right
Oh, yeah.
and then it went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And in spite of you.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do. And then, the hope is enough time passes or enough different things shift where you go, that actually was a blessing. But this idea of giving in and saying, you know what, like God willing is an incredibly active thing. Like that takes a lot of action. It's not passive. It's not just chilling back and being like, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
No, like to actually be in that state is very freeing because you kind of go, you know what? I can really just kind of focus on my own little plot of how I act.
I want this, but I will trust that if it happens, it'll be for the right reason. If it doesn't, I'll accept that for the right reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, how hard is that?
Kind of AA. We're in the show up and work business, not the results business.
I mean, AA is like,
It's virtually the Quran.
It's
Yeah.
Muslim. Yeah. I mean,
It's all
It's
religions.
literally like the amount of people like who like I feel like this like deep brothership with are either people at the mosque or people who go to AA.
Yeah.
I haven't been to AA, but like sometimes I'm talking with someone, I'm connecting so much with them and I go, you're an AA.
Are you a
And I
junkie?
go, how did you
Are you
know?
drunk?
You were a junkie.
Yeah.
You saw like the way that our actions can take us into this place that is so unlike who we actually are.
Well, I'm not pointing out anything revelatory
No.
at all, but I was just reading a lot about the Stoics, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's an AA thing. That's a Buddhist thing.
Yep.
But obviously the Stoics and the Buddhists were doing it independently, And there is some truths to be discovered.
Dude.
And there's a lot of overlap. We're really hung up on the tiny non-overlap parts of it all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Like the
Yeah.
little, I always talk about this. It's like sometimes it feels like we're talking about the rims and the paint trim on a car that doesn't have an engine in it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine just fighting, being like, I think it's got to be this color and this trim and whatever. And it's like, guys, there's no engine in this car. Like,
technically not a car.
It's technically not a car. We are fighting over just essentially like a hunk of metal. You know, and like, how about we all like just focus on getting the car to work, and then we can get into all that, you know, and that's because, you know, the basis of your conversations would be completely different if it was a genuinely operational society.
How do we make this work?
You know, like if it actually was serving everybody.
We're a little more pragmatic. So okay, so the last time you were here, I guess you were maybe, well, you had to be because I looked at my old notes from the last trip, and you were promoting Poor Things, but I don't think I had seen it yet.
No, we hadn't.
Oh yeah, you hadn't seen it.
No, that was by far my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
And we had already then interviewed you, so I was already like, now I love you and root for you, and I was like so delighted you popped up.
I actually don't think it was for Poor Things, but you told us in it that you were shooting this movie, and we were like, oh my gosh, how cool!
It was coming out.
It was coming out. It was in my like, you know, where I put what projects are on top.
In there.
It was in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
but like we hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
What a movie.
What a fucking movie.
Yeah, dude. What a gift.
Now, it's so surreal. I've never been in a movie that was surreal like that. I've been in a science fiction movie that had space and stuff, but does it feel differently to be in something surreal, if that makes sense? Like, does the world and the sets feel warped in a way?
I mean, some of it you can't see until you see the thing, you know, and it wasn't like we were at monitors or something. I mean, they're shooting this on film, and it was like one of those things where as actors, we would just show up and be in this immersive set that set was not facade-y. Like everything was built. It was really impressive.
So
it was really gorgeous. And Yorgos is such a visionary. And so you kind of just show up. And so I had two experiences. One, when I read it, I was like, the writer brain in me was like, this is a rom-com. Like I could see that this is a rom-com. This is just funny.
Yeah.
But it is going to be dressed up with all this weird stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
But at its core, it's a rom-com. It's literally like, you know, and I get to play this character that is this like, you know, wholesome, but also kind of has his own horniness he's dealing with, and he's kind of navigating this dynamic.
He has a naivete that we like matched with her naivete. They're safe for each other.
They're meant to be together, but she's going to go around and kind of experience the world before she accepts that.
Yeah,
and so that's a rom-com on a level. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like the guy waiting for the girl to figure out what she needs to figure out so that they can be together.
Yes.
Core simple. But then it's like, all right, late 1800s, learn a British accent, crazy costumes, and surreal way of shooting it, and stepping into like a performance thing that is different than anything I had done. And so I had so much fun. And it's even this kind of thing of, getting to play, like now just coming off playing this like, you know, dipshit billionaire in Mountainhead. Yeah, it's like the opposite. And so that's where I'm like, man, it's so much fun being an actor.
What about being opposite Willem Dafoe? And especially in that insane prosthetic or whatever the fuck he
I know. That was really fun and wild and surreal as well. And that was one of those things where I got to know him. We had like 3 weeks of rehearsal, which was really beautiful. So we had 3 weeks that was me and Emily and Willem and Mark.
Does Emma go by Emily?
Oh, yeah, she does. Name. Yes, that's her real name. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know that. And I claim to be in love.
I've been the big,
There's a big viral video.
The Oscar speech.
She did press. Oh, wait, but also no, she was doing press, and this guy, this journalist, said Emily, and then somebody said Emma, and she said, no, my name is Emily.
Yeah.
And she said thank you. And then recently, I think at Cannes, that guy was back in the press room and he said, I'm the guy who said that and you changed my whole life. And I don't remember where he's from, but he's from some country. And he's like, my job opportunities skyrocketed.
Wow. And he's making a documentary now, actually. It's called Her Name is Emily. And it's about this Hungarian journalist.
I thought it was called Don't Call Her Emma. That's a little more
the
like
cautionary tale.
I think that's the tagline. They're playing with it's in, they're figuring it out. But yeah, his
name
life
is Emily.
changed.
Tagline, Don't Call Her Emma.
Don't call her Emma.
Or I'll kill you.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
tagline.
or I'll kill you. The story of a truth-seeking journalist. And
Vigilante
and it's less
justice.
going through war zones, more kind of going through tabloid zones
Sure.
and kind of dealing with all that. Yeah, he's a good.
I'm not as good of a love from afar as you.
What do you mean?
Like if we found out Matt Damon's real name was Kent Damon,
Oh,
like you would have been
I think
first
that's
to
his-
know.
Maybe his dad's name
Kent
or Kenneth.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
wow.
you even know.
You're plugged into the Damon verse.
Oh my God.
And I
Yeah.
think if I love any actor, I think it's her. As far as like who I
Emily.
think I could marry.
She's
And I
the
never even
best.
met her, but I'm like, from what I see, I feel like I could also marry her maybe.
Everybody wants to marry her.
Yeah, who doesn't?
She's
very marryable.
I mean,
The most
she's the
marryable.
best. No, she's actually just like the best
Yeah.
person. And also like, it's like I can say that, and then my wife loves her. Like literally is just like my wife's also like, yeah, we should marry.
That's
her.
this is a win for both of us.
The best person.
Yeah, I got to
So
pitch that to Kristen.
You should. And then I would kind of get it prepped before even going to Emily with the offer, like get the package together. And
Yes,
then
yes,
Don't
yes,
don't bring
yes.
her in on the brainstorm
I
because
think
she's
I'm
dealing with a
probably gonna
lot.
have to tell her you just learned her name.
She's dealing with a lot.
Oh, I knew
Don't
there would
try
be.
to fuck this
I
up.
am going to.
That's jealousy.
Yeah,
That's-
you're right.
That's an
I've
illness.
done-
Not
That is an
Buddhist.
illness. That I saw that come up right there.
Yeah,
Not
because I've done. I
Buddhist.
put more effort into facilitating the love connection with her and Matt Damon than I've done for any.
No, excuse you?
What
Oh,
are you
she's
saying?
trying to say that was a soul, like you put in all the work.
I encouraged him
No.
to hug you and to kiss your head, and I made standees posters when it
Well,
happened.
Kristen did that. Kristen
Okay.
did
I'm
that.
somewhere
Let's
in-
not take her
This is like
what
you-
she's done as yours. You've
Do you think I was
also-
very supportive?
You've also hung out with him and excluded
invite.
me. I mean, I
Oh,
want to.
But in fairness, part of a larger strategy because he knows Damon, and he knows if he's pushing you on every hang, Damon gets suspicious. But he's got to do 2 non-Monica hangs, then
This
do the
is
integration, and
so
any wingman would know how to do
masculine.
that.
You know the exact.
It's not
plan.
masculine. This is called winging, and this is like a
This is
non-gender
winging 101.
situation.
Okay.
But okay, so we had 3 weeks where we're just hanging out, learning the lines.
Where are you? What country are you in?
Budapest.
Is it so special?
It's very clean. It's also kind of weird.
Oh,
But it's like a really like I enjoyed my time there. And
Okay.
you know what they have that's like they just have amazing public parks. It's just that
Ooh.
Europe thing where not everything has to be a Target.
Am I wrong in that Budapest was one of the original crossroads, though, to the east and the west? I thought that would interest you.
No, it is. It was the history is unbelievable. I think also at the time though, I was reading like a lot of Gabor Mate, and so he
Oh,
talked
we
about being
love him.
separated from his family during the Holocaust and all. And so I was a little bit like walking around being like, oh, you guys fucked with Gabor Mate.
Yeah, how
but then also
dare
kind of
you.
like, but thank God for his trauma because he's really helping me.
If his mom hadn't left him for those 6 weeks,
Dude.
we have nothing.
Dude, I
Oh,
mean,
There's
what
still
a
addicts on the
special
streets
man.
of.
dude, I mean, but so we're there and we're doing this thing, and then he puts on the prosthetics, Willem, and I'm in these scenes with him, and it's really surreal because I go, this is not the guy I was just hanging out with for a month, you know.
Who's
this
a
is
sweetheart,
this,
right?
like, dude,
Just
he
the
is the
sweetest.
sweetest.
Yeah.
God, have you guys had him on yet?
We had him on,
Yeah,
and it
'cause
was
he's
like,
like-
he's so hot.
dude.
He's
Mhm.
so fucking
cool.
sexy.
He's very fit,
I got some
Yeah.
pictures of his early work, and I'm like, this dude was a smoke
handsome,
show.
very handsome,
Yeah.
and a yogi. And
Yeah, he's operating on another level, I think.
4 a.m. wake up, do yoga, get in the bathtub. Like he's got his non-negotiables. He was really,
Non-negotiables,
really
yeah.
inspiring. Actually, I had some really good conversations with him, and this was at the time too. I hadn't proposed to my wife yet, and I was like even talking to him about like marriage, and
Oh.
he was very much like, you got to be disciplined. You got to live your life this way as a man, and then you're gonna pick someone, and when you pick, you choose, you make it work, and that's it. He was really like,
Wow, I
it was
love
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
no
a,
frills. This is
dude,
what it
this
is.
like just a dude.
How long had you been with your wife? Before you got
married? Well, we had known each other for a few years. Yeah,
Okay.
it had
How'd you
been
meet?
it had been a few years through a friend. Yeah, through my friend May Kalmawi, who plays my sister on my show.
Oh.
And so they had known each other, and then we were getting to know each other, and then I kind of immediately, it was one of those.
Where's she from?
She's from Saudi Arabia, so
Oh,
she
she
grew up
is.
in Saudi and all that. Yeah.
And did she come here for school? And
She came here
stay?
for school. Yeah. So she studied like fine arts in
Ooh.
the Bay. She's an amazing artist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, art
Sorry,
director,
is she
all
rich?
that kind of thing. Well, this was the thing. I think part of it for me was kind of in the back of my head, and I was kind of being coy. I'm like, okay, obviously oil money. This would be great because my
It's
whole
a great
thing is
For
like,
all of us.
yeah, and I just
Safety net.
kind of want to be like a boy artist who's supported and all
Of
that kind of thing.
course.
Exactly.
Parents are teachers, so it was really like a bad gamble, and here we are, still having to work.
Why wasn't she at the Golden Globes?
She's not trying to do all that.
Good for her.
I like that.
Good for
That's
her.
preferred.
Yeah. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
She go to the after party. She's kind of like, but she's like, the whole thing with the carpet and the thing. And that was kind of one of the things too, when we first were like, okay, we're going to be together. She was like, I don't want to do all that. She's like, just keep me out of all that.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, and so I respect that.
Did you
and-
like it or were you like,
Oh my God, I
want...
loved it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? And it also helps just like getting in the car quicker and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Dude,
Yeah.
you take about 9 minutes to get ready. Like when we're planning our day for one of these things, like she's got a hotel room somewhere. So she's gonna be getting ready for 4.
all right, let's
I
go.
drive
Let's get
there
out of here.
10
You know what I
minutes
mean?
before with my Vans
Oh
on.
my
I'm
God,
like,
dude.
ready.
I know.
Okay, now I watched Mountainhead last night with my best friend Aaron, who's in town, and we loved it. I love it. I
Can't wait.
definitely think it has an insane plot, and it's scarily plausible, it seems.
Yeah.
So you and 3 other gentlemen arrive at this mountain retreat.
Yeah.
So one of the dudes owns a social media company. One of the dudes is, like you say, a Peter Thiel. He's been first one in on a lot of these.
Yeah.
And he's an extremely rich man, $68 billion or something. They write their net worth on their chest at one point, which is incredible.
my
I almost believe it
God.
might be possible that happens.
Yes.
So social media company owner, kind of legendary tech investor. And then you, who owns an AI technology
Yeah.
that is being used by the social network.
They want to use it. Yeah, so he's trying to get my AI. Basically, my character took some of his employees, right?
Okay.
And basically made the AI that I'm using, and he's kind of like, dude, those are my guys anyway. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
But my guy is pretty, dead set that the reason they built this good AI is due to his leadership. And due to his guiding principles. And so
Right.
he has this level of, he has like a relative to the rest, a moral conscience about how the technology is affecting people. But at the same time, it kind of seems like that consciousness is also tied to his own net worth and tied to his own aspirations.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, wait, do you have a conscience because you have a conscience, or do you have a conscience because that's a really good brand to have a conscience?
Exactly.
But what seems plausible is this is a trip you guys have taken many times. You've got a club name. You're what are
The
you?
Brewsters.
The Brewsters, and you cock-a-doodle brew and all this terrible guy stuff. But as you're arriving for this weekend, which you guys apparently do once a year or something, they have released a new bit of technology on the social media platform, and it is incorporating AI, and the AI is making fake news segments, wars breaking out in places, people are killing, and it's like it's a simmer at the beginning, and everyone's just like, well, how will this all play out? And it just keeps escalating the entire time you're there at the weekend, and you're kind of the only person that's going, well, hold on here. I think this is bad. I think we have to intervene. I think what's going on? Do we really not care about this? But the compelling part that is the most scary is 2 of the dudes, Carell and what's the other gentleman's name?
Oh, Jason Schwartzman or Corey Michael Smith.
Corey Michael Smith.
Yeah, who plays Venice.
He's incredible, by the way. He's phenomenal
so
in the movie.
He's so good.
Yeah, it's scary and believable. But there is a point where some obvious thoughts come their way, which is like, okay, well, who's really killing each other?
Yeah.
It's like pretty much idiots inspired by crazy fundamentalist religious views and people who are gullible to this thing. Is this terrible that these people kind of just take care of themselves and then we've got a nice hard reset? I mean, it's eugenics, it's genocide. It's like it's the operating principle of Mao, of a lot of people who are like, if we could just if we have an excuse and they do it themselves, we're not going to stand in the way of that.
I mean, and it's interesting too, because in the film, you see them first start to really get concerned when it happens in France. Then they go, wait, what?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Then they go, okay, that's
Oh, wait a
getting
minute.
awfully white. And then all of a sudden they're like,
What's
Let's read
Corral?
about it.
Corral's got a thing though. He's like, not to worry. There's never been a country that exports cheese that has what? I don't know.
that has like any sort of problem. Yeah, as long as you have an exportable cheese, you've got a way
my
out.
God.
You know?
His character is great because
I love him.
he is clearly like he's they say he's got a 200 IQ. He's insanely smart.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
quoting Greek scholars. He's like so fucking smart. And again, being really smart, I think, is more dangerous than people who are smart give it credit. Which is you have been right so many times that it's much easier to mislead yourself.
And you have so much information that you can kind of weaponize it to justify whatever you're thinking.
Yes.
Yes, if you make a plausible, sound argument in your mind, it's hard not to buy into it.
Yeah, because and if you have a track record of, I invested well and I did this and I did, the ego says,
Exactly.
well, I actually have a bit of a godlike view of what's going on.
Yes. Again, it's that thing where it's like, I'm better than everyone.
I'm
I
better.
can think clearer than everyone. It's the thing I brought up earlier in this conversation. It's like this danger of
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
you think clearly and other people don't. It
Absolutely.
just leads always to a genocide virtually.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
It escalates in this most plausible, intriguing, and terrifying way where it's like they have to start considering, well, fuck, should we just run the whole show? It's like, and when they put the pieces together, the amount that in reality that a lot of these people have tons of different products that are running the government. They have products that are running the military. They have products that are running satellites. They're whether they've been given a role or not, they're so intermeshed now that they could make some very serious attacks.
I mean, I think one of Carell Randall's lines is, they're on the phone, they have this whole thing where they talk to the president and then afterwards they don't like what the president says. And then he basically just goes, the president's a good guy, but he's a simpleton. And it's really interesting, right? Because, I don't think we could have gotten better press for the movie than the week right after it came out, the Elon Trump war on Twitter. And literally everyone just being like, this is, Mountainhead too, because essentially Elon is, at that moment, openly tweeting, this budget sucks.
Yep.
I saw the way that everything's going in there. And essentially he's seeing the same thing that in the film is like, why aren't we running the show?
Right.
Yeah.
Since then he's walked that back. By the time this podcast comes out, I'm sure 400 other things will happen.
Exactly.
But it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, those dynamics really exist.
Well, and his satellite network was brought online when he was in support of Ukraine,
Yes.
and it was employed effectively.
Yeah.
And he can turn on and shut off internet
Oh yeah.
for a lot of places,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is wild. We're there.
Yeah.
And when he got elected, remember everyone was like, and including me, I was like, why are all these people coming out and saying like congratulations to him? And then I was like, because they need in with him so that they can actually control things.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy, but true and works.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. My
it's work.
conclusion
Government-
on that
Yeah.
was like, this person can destroy trillions of dollars of saved money.
of what we've done. Yeah.
Like something I've been working on for 20 years, that like half of America's IRA is involved in this
Yeah.
value of this company, and this person could ruin it. I've got no choice but to protect this thing.
Well, I think
That
it's
was my
both. I think those are
conclusion.
I think
similar.
it's both. Yeah. There's Kiss
Yeah.
the Ring and there's I Want the Contract.
Yeah.
So it's just cozying up to, this is how it works in dictatorships and all sorts of places.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like there's a few wonderfully scary things in the movie. I almost want to I can't wait to rewatch it actually.
Yeah.
Because it has real stakes and real stress, and you're juggling that with comedy, and the comedy's brilliant, but also your stress. It's almost like The Studio, which you're also in.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations. What a show to
Such
be
a
a
fun.
part of.
To have a bit in it was so
So
fun.
fun.
Yeah, what
So-
an accomplishment that
Yeah,
fucking
what
show.
It's so cool,
so
dude.
impressive. It's
Seth
insane.
is the man. Yeah,
He's
He
the
really is a
man.
cool
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that show has stakes and stress. It's
Yeah.
a fucking stressful show, The Studio.
Very.
It's almost like I want to rewatch that as well, knowing like, well, I already did. Some episodes I rewatched because I wanted people to see it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the Wonder episode. I'm like, you gotta watch this
Oh,
episode.
yeah, it's so fun.
And I could enjoy it the next go around because I'm like, everyone lived. The stress
Right.
of it,
You know how it ends.
Yeah. This movie is fucking thought provoking. But the two things that I think are brought to the forefront are like, one, AI. Are people going to be able to discern
Yeah.
the difference? Is that going to happen?
Yeah.
That's terrifying. I'm optimistic. I don't think people are as.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as. They're as vulnerable as we think.
In what way can we elaborate?
Like
a little more?
that people will not. If there's viewing a news clip on the internet and it's proclaiming that this group killed this person, I have some faith that they're gonna need to at least see it on a trusted news source before they take action.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it's interesting.
We'll find out.
But this is like the integrity crisis and kind of where people basically, I mean, the president has run on a platform of fake news or whatever. I mean, so I think there's this level of like verification that we still kind of look for where you kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
The question is almost what happens in the gaps between something being verified and not, which I think is part of what the film explores.
Yeah.
But, you know, I say this with the humility of knowing and hoping that one day I get old enough to have like my own gaps between what's happening with tech and where I am. Maybe that inevitably happens. But, you know, the amount of things that my parents and people in that generation are like, man, can you believe this thing happened? And I go, where did you hear about that?
Yeah.
And it's like 123 hindustantimes.com org / whatever.
Yeah.
And then you look at this janky link and it's like, okay, this is not a real thing, but that goes over their head, right? And that's the
Yes.
thing where it's like, and again, with the humility of, I'll probably be at some point in that situation where my kids know something about, you know, hologram technology that I'm unaware of how the light refracts in order to know
Yes,
whether a
exactly.
hologram is a true hologram or a false hologram. But you kind of have this whole section of people that are already falling for it,
Yeah.
and now they're going to get realistic video. And I actually see these clips, you know, go viral now of Trump saying something, and I'm looking at the mouth because I'm like, did he actually say
Right.
that? And it's already really good. You know, and it's like, and I think Trump and LeBron, they have so many, they're like, I think the most AI'd.
Really?
Yeah, Trump and LeBron.
Oh,
Because there's so much
really?
footage on them that you can do it pretty seamlessly.
You
my
can make a
God.
very good data set from
Trump
them.
and LeBron.
Yeah, Trump and LeBron. Yeah,
Oh
our
my
two
God.
leaders.
And that's your obsession with LeBron, right? I've heard you say that
I'm
that's your main
obsessed with
reason you're
LeBron,
on
dude.
Instagram.
Dude, this is my guy.
That's so interesting.
Actually, since I saw you, I got to do a commercial campaign for LeBron.
you did?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It was pretty cool. Like I got to work with him for a day. I directed him in this whole like,
What?
yeah, it was really fun. It was for this like mobile video game thing, and it was pretty cool. Like,
Tell me what you love about him.
I love that he 16, 15 years old, cover of Sports Illustrated, the king, the next thing.
The real Wunderkind.
And he did it.
And he did it.
To live up to that level of expectation, to live a public life where you are actually playing to, you know, people can get, you can go in and try to devalue something he's done or take away a championship and go, oh, that person was injured or, oh, no. Like to have that much pressure on you from 15 years old, to be still playing at an elite level where you're a
Yeah.
top 15 player at age 40, get the hell out of here.
Mm.
It's
No one's
very
ever done it.
cool.
I mean, he is to me the personification of discipline.
Yeah.
And I'm so attracted to that. And
Mastery
that,
of self.
yeah, it really feels like something like worth aspiring to.
Mm.
He is really
Yeah.
locked in because you couldn't give. Again, it's like there's no, you can't make any excuse for how consistent and how high the quality of what he does is. And I think he's an incredible human.
Oh, I love
That was
the
a great
passion.
answer.
Yeah.
It was.
And he's really funny, actually. Like, you know, one of the things we did was like knocking on, we were kind of like, that he claims to have read all these books. And then now he was being self-aware about it. And
Oh,
so,
fun.
Had he
yeah,
done
yeah,
that? I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, he has this whole thing where he's like, yeah, I'm reading this great book, but he would always be at these press conferences and it's so clear, like he's just on page 3. Like he's always just past the forward, you know?
He and Monica could start a book club.
I know.
Yeah. And he'll like, he gets caught in these like really funny lies where they'll be like, what's your favorite Godfather? And he's like, how can you choose? I mean, it's just, they're Godfathering all over it. And he's like, you know, and you're like, all right, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't care.
As long as you don't say 3.
Like, it's just like, yeah, as long as you don't say 3,
Yeah,
you
you've got a
in the clear.
66% chance
What
of
is your,
choosing
what
right.
is your favorite Godfather?
I think 2.
So interesting. There's like
I
a
mean,
big divide.
It's like also choosing between my favorite hamburger and my favorite pizza.
Yeah,
but they're
I
both
get it.
so incredible.
Yeah.
Yours is number
I'm a
1.
1. Yeah, I'm such a 1.
But 2, we get De Niro.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's really fun. I like going really far back in time to find out where the Corleone
cool.
started. The whole weird sequence in Italy, he falls in love with that woman with those unique
Yeah,
nipples.
it's
That's
gorgeous.
wonderful.
Yeah. No, it's true. I just think
They're very memorable.
The nipples are actually.
Oh,
Do you
really?
remember them, right?
When you said it, I knew exactly.
Yeah,
what you're
every
talking
boy
about.
remembers that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
almost
need, why?
It's like a guy thing. I'm sure you saw something on Damon that we don't
Of
see.
course. No,
Yeah.
but I mean, what about the nipples?
No, they're not
themselves?
weird, by the way. They're just distinct for what you would usually see on screen. I think there's always this like kind of tailored vision of like all of that, and this is just like it
She's
just
got
feels
very
like an
unique-
old
She's a real
country
Unique,
nipple.
person.
beautiful breasts, and they were kind of unique in their own way.
Yeah.
And I think to get into the nitty gritty of it, then I would feel like this woman
Is
could
that-
somehow hear me.
I
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah,
it
yeah.
could
Okay.
get. We're obviously like gentlemen still, so I
Yeah,
don't want to
well,
like.
We're addressing the
Quite
areolas, but we're
obviously.
Yeah,
we're keeping it vague enough.
If you describe an areola too much, it just starts to veer into.
you
I
you
understand.
stumble upon these realities in life where it's like you slowly realize like almost every guy who has seen Godfather remembers those nipples. You
Yeah,
just
that's
inadvertently
fascinating.
discover that, and you go like, oh wow, good, they're as memorable for you as they were for me.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I do find it fascinating. That's why I wonder what they
It's
look
like-
like. I'm gonna look it up obviously as soon as we're done with this.
Her nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the whole movie?
No.
Let's schedule that.
That I will come.
Okay, great. Are you
I
living
will
in LA?
come. No, I'm in Brooklyn, but I will
Oh,
come.
okay.
Okay, you'll fly out.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
or I'll
Yeah.
host you guys. I mean, it's one or the other. But like the fact
Viewing
that
party
Oh
for
my
the
God.
nipple.
Yeah, yeah. We'll sit in the back row.
I'm a one guy though, fully, because I think two is amazing, but lives in one's playground. Because one was able to one, two is able to two. So that's
Yeah.
where I have this like
That's a solid-
that's the origin. And two, obviously, like, you know, there are story breaks in two that are work because they worked in one.
Yeah.
Like even the way two ends and the way hilarious. Don't want to spoil it for you, man.
Okay, great. I should cover my
77
my
or
ears.
something.
film that is like part of the modern basis of
Yeah, I
cinema.
know.
I would hate to spoil
Zeitgeist.
for you. Yeah. But anyway,
Also, the rosebud is the sled.
What?
I know.
I've
Sorry.
always wondered.
but okay, so that's a really good argument for one. But I'll add this as a counter, which is just simply the probability of the sequel being as good as the first one is 0.
agreed.
And
Agreed.
that needs to be acknowledged. Like
Agreed.
it's almost impossible to make a
Agreed.
sequel that's as good or potentially better. And that's kind of the triumph of that movie, I think.
And it's kind of
Oh my God, we're in Barbie.
I was
We're
about to-
in Barbie. Did you see Barbie?
yeah, and the guys are just talking about
I
it.
was
Yes,
about
trying to
to say,
explain to the
guys.
woman.
Yeah,
we
we are.
did it.
We Barbied.
And you
Yeah.
even
Barbie.
taught me about nipples.
We canned.
Wow.
We canned.
No, we,
We're not Ellen.
by the way, refuse to get too into the nipple thing. But you know, your Godfather argument is kind of like a Jordan LeBron argument in a way.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like Jordan's like this OG, but then you go, well, but LeBron lived up to the hype that Jordan never had, because that's Godfather 2.
Right.
Jordan
right,
broke
right.
the mold.
Yeah,
And
Jordan broke the mold,
LeBron
and then
came
LeBron
in
lived
and
up to the mold,
elevated.
which is
Impossible.
almost impossible.
Yeah, it's almost not even worth getting into basketball because like all you'll ever
Let's
hear
not.
is like, let's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
We already did Godfather, so I
Yeah,
think
it's almost
we're
not worth
good.
getting into it. You go, agree.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing we got to talk about, I love Mountainhead. I hope everyone watches it. It's so good. You're fantastic in it. It's
Thank
such a
you.
fun role for you to have. It's kind of like in keeping with you being the most spiritual present in the room.
I feel like being a part of a Jesse Armstrong thing is like
Dude, I really love that man. Like he is so conscientious and smart and generous.
How old is
And
he? I don't know anything about him.
He's 54.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 54, but he comes off as
That's
like a
awesome.
42. Yeah, you know,
He's
41
He's
easy.
kind of as a
He does
solid
not.
early
He
40s.
comes off, yeah, like he does not even just in his youthful spirit. But he's a brilliant dialogue writer.
Ugh.
It was his first thing directing, and he was so great and so generous and so just you know, I think the mark of and I would say he's very, very spiritually enlightened in this sense, because a lot of people, I think, going to direct their first thing would maybe like almost need to feel a sense of control of, well, if I'm the director, then it needs to feel like it's all coming from me and it all has my stamp and it all this and it all that.
Yeah.
So generous, where he, you know, something will
Right.
come up and you go, that's a really good question. Like, let's find out. You know,
confident.
Not
That's
exact. That's confidence.
Yeah.
Not exactly my department. Let me think. And then you see him taking all the info, and then you see him make the decision that is in line with what he's trying to philosophically do.
Yeah.
And you go, well, that's directing.
Yeah.
Directing is not I'm a genius that knows everything the whole time.
I'm going to execute my
I'm going to execute the
immovable
integrity
plan.
of the vision. And this goes back to this leadership thing, dude.
Yeah.
This is the thing that
Yeah.
Exactly.
this is what I'm like, it's so, when you see it done well, it's very attractive because it's so exciting, because then, then you get to, be in something that knows what it is, and that's my favorite thing as, an actor, any sort of artist, like, oh, this thing knows what it is. And then you get to, contribute to that. It's very fun. So it was,
fun.
that was sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, Happy Family USA.
Yeah.
This is your cartoon.
Yes.
And I think it's relevant to say you set it up and pitched it during Trump won.
Yeah.
45. And then it's now out. This is interesting.
In 47. Yeah, I mean, the timing of it is wild. The title of the show is this thing that basically the family says, so in the pilot, 9/11 happens.
Yeah. The show starts on 9/10.
9/10.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment where they, which is something that I think happened to a lot of immigrants in this country, so many Arab Muslim immigrants came, I would say around mid to late 80s.
Mhm.
And it kind of took them a decade to get their feet under them.
Yeah.
And then this thing happened.
Yeah.
And it shook and rocked everything. And I remember, it kind of set up the basis of instability for, a lot of our lives, because it was so, you're just on the defensive.
Yeah.
You were already trying to figure out what was going on.
I was in Detroit where we have a humongous Chaldean population.
Dude.
And it was like all these party store owners, like all of a sudden there's just American flags
Yeah.
plastered everywhere.
And that's literally what happens right in our first couple of episodes, where it's like he goes, we're going to show everyone that we are number one Happy Family USA. And so he drapes the house in Christmas and Easter decorations and American flags. And he's a Muslim, but he says Jesus Christ every other sentence. He's just trying to do and the whole show, the reason I wanted to make an animated show was because I was really into this idea of code switching, and I think it's pretty universal in the sense that the family, when they're in the house, look a certain way, and then when they step outside the house, they look different.
Yep.
You watch his beard disappear. You watch the daughter's curly hair become straight. You kind of see all these appearance things that people feel like they got to hide, which we all do to a degree, but they're doing it under the
survival.
fear of, because then this like FBI agent moves in across the street and they're being surveilled. And so I kind of, wanted to make this cartoon 5 years ago about the surveillance state and about how, immigrants were basically put in this position to have to prove their patriotism in order to stay. And I thought it was a time capsule of the early 2000s. And the week it came out, I guess at this point, a month ago, the week it came out was when you start seeing everyone at the airport being thrown into these, facilities in Louisiana. And, now, again, we're having this conversation of, in LA, they're just picking up people who just look Hispanic and they figure out the facts later.
Yep.
And then they go, wait, are you here legally? Or are you not? We'll figure it out later. And so that's been really eerie, because it coming out where I feel like, no, we're a Happy Family USA is like something someone might be saying at the airport right now. And it's worse now than it was then. And so it's been this really, the people, who reach out after watching the show, people have been really, because people don't know how long it takes to make things, especially animation.
Yeah.
So some people think I you
just
like
see
cooked it up in
Armstrong
January,
dish.
and I was like, oh yeah, like let's do this thing, because they go,
Yeah.
oh, it's so cool that you like really picked
Timed
it up
this.
quick and timed it. And I go, no, man, we've been working on this for this is like a weird,
It's not a new thing. It's not a new phenomenon.
no, it's really, really wild.
Well, you were in real life, you were 10 or 11 living in New Jersey.
Yeah, 11, yeah, something like that,
When 9/11 happened.
yeah.
And what was the shift in real life?
I mean, I remember that feeling of, it was really sensitive, right? Because we're in Jersey. First off, you just watch this like horrific thing happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite scary whether it's not like you felt safer or happier.
You're devastated.
Yes.
You're watching human beings died.
Yeah, jumping
Right
out
near
of a
you.
building.
Ugh.
We could sense the smoke in our town. That's how close we're in New York. You know what I mean? So we're right there. So immediately it's just like horrifying, and you're just sad, and you're just as sad as everybody else. But then in that sadness, you go, oh shit, like we are now a target.
Suspect
you know what
number
I mean? We're
one.
suspects. And so this lasted, I saw it affect my parents' friendships. I saw it affect, like, look, on a level, I grew up in a place that I really love the town I grew up in. I wouldn't change where I grew up.
Mm.
It's just everything becomes more complicated. And I think that the thing that, I started to really feel was we were in I would say the brunt of the 24-hour news cycle finding its voice of being able to just pump out fear as, that like the birth of CNN being a thing you always have on in the background. That's 9/11. And that, being part of like the beginning of, that modern war machine being pushed by like color news images 24/7.
Yeah.
It's then, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of, what I always, talked about when we were making the show was there is the outward kinds of racism and prejudice and fear that gets directed at you. But what we really wanted to do with the show was focus on something that I felt way more of, which is the internal fear where you kind of go, is all this shit they're saying about us true? Is all this stuff actually where I come from? And then you go down this spiral of self-doubt of, oh man, I'm watching all this stuff and all these people look like me and have,
These views.
I want to know a lot about that because to me that sounds a little bit parallel to like internalized racism.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just like you grew up where all the media you've seen, the people of your kind are committing crimes and this and that. And that, you take on your own racism, even though you're the group is fascinating.
Oh yeah. And you're a kid and you go, wait, oh, whoa. Is this why my parents left over there? Because it's so bad and everyone's so bad over there.
Yeah.
And then it took so many years to kind of go through all that and then kind of reconnect with, and not that I was necessarily disconnected, but by just where we live, we're not over there. And then you kind of really get into it and you go, oh, these are like really beautiful people, really beautiful countries, really, beautiful places. But, it gets like isolated in this way to fit a really specific kind of narrative.
When
right?
you're the in-group, the division between your government and your military and the citizens is quite clear to you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, everyone's having the same feeling like, wait, why are we going to Iraq? We don't like that. And hopefully, everyone else will recognize that like none of the citizens want us to go there. We don't think there's weapons of mass destruction. This is happening, but that's them. But when you're evaluating the out-group, you don't draw those lines between the military apparatus and then just the humans that live there,
Yeah, yeah.
It's happening currently with like, there's a difference between Hamas and Palestinians. There's a difference between Netanyahu and then your average citizen living there.
Putin and Russians.
I
mean, look, imagine you're someone who has never been to America goes, oh my God, it's terrible over there, huh? It's just like the men are raping the women who don't even get paid. And then you guys are terrible to all the immigrants. Yeah. And
you've blown up a few islands in your past.
All your schools have shootings in them.
Yes,
because that's essentially what happens, right? It's like you kind of look at the Middle East and go, oh, they make the women do this and they rape them, this and that. And it's like, so here as an American, you go, okay, factually, the palette of what you just said has occurred. Is that really what's occurring every single day?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And also we're raping, but it's not potentially with the religious excuse, so that rape is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've determined that there's one rape is much worse as a motivator.
You're like, I mean, it's like, and then you realize how all that gets conflated about a group of people and about what's going on, right?
Well, I remember the time of that, like, it stunk to me most. And look, I'm not a rah Russia supporter by any stretch, but when they were hosting Sochi, the Olympics, and I remember reading these articles about like, they've rounded up dogs and killed them. There was like every headline was about them rounding up dogs and killing them. And then out of just like curiosity, I typed in like, how many dogs a day are put down a day in the U.S.? Yeah. It's like a million. We kill like a million dogs a day or something crazy.
Yeah.
It always flares up in the Olympics. There was also like when China was hosting, it was like the Chinese are making their athletes perform through injuries. Yeah. I'm like, y'all look at Carrie Strug. Who was the?
Carrie Strug.
Well,
every American athlete is competing through an injury.
I mean, you could flatten America like in that kind of thinking so easily. You could say America hates women so much that they twice elected an open liar, rapist, this, that, just to avoid having a woman.
Exactly.
And then they banned abortion in half, which is not even a thing in the Muslim world. You can get an abortion in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, you can.
Right away.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, it is like
I didn't know that.
Muslims believe that the soul encasement is not till I think it's something like around 100 days, but don't quote me. But it's literally like that. That you can get. Abortion is more strict here than it is in so many parts of the Middle East.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So it's like,
I
you know
didn't
what I
know
mean?
that, yeah.
But that's, you can flatten whatever you want to flatten. You can do what you can talk about it however you want
Well,
to.
you can ignore everything that doesn't jive with your worldview and focus
Yes.
on the 5 things that do.
And
or
It's
not.
happening now, right now, about LA. Like everyone's
Yeah.
texting. They're like, "Are you okay? Is it chaos?" And I'm like, "No, it's
Right.
fine." But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the narrative that's getting spun about what's happening here is also crazy.
We're in a state of civil unrest.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, they make it like it's not. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not like fine, but they make it look like it's like an active civil war where everyone's walking around
They're
with guns.
saying we're in a state of war.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
no, there's a peaceful protest that was happening. That's
Yes.
what the
and then we got ambushed by the Marines.
Exactly, exactly.
over a protest. But so as a kid, you take in all this information, and for me, the experience was always, oh my God, like what of this is real or not? And that was the perspective that we went into making the show, which is how do you talk about all this complex shit, from like a 12-year-old brain, an 11-year-old
Yeah.
brain, where I think when you're 11 or 12, a girl being dismissive of you feels like a national security issue in your brain.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is just as loud as we're going to Iraq.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
If you could wipe out a whole continent to have the girl like you back, you would do
You
it.
kind of
in a
go, I mean,
second.
yeah, that's far.
You'd have no problem.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
that's far. She's here.
Yeah.
So I was really interested in this and kind of what could this look like as a world? Because it's like cartoons have always been so cutting politically in a really great way, whether it's like South Park or whatever. And so to get to do it from this perspective, but also kind of add a bunch of different elements, like that was really so exciting for me.
Were you aware when you were a kid? My assumption would be, even within your family, you're dealing with the pressures, varying degrees of pressure, because your
Yeah.
parents are from Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So they have accents.
Yes.
They have a lot of like indicators that they're other.
Yeah.
You have less of those.
Yeah.
Kids are, I don't know, maybe kids are worse than adults or they're better adults, but there had to have been different levels of how you were all having to deal with the fallout of 9/11.
Yeah.
Even within the house, yeah?
Yeah, and I think my dad was dealing with it in a way more, my dad was in the world of hotels, and so he was
He was at
in
the plaza.
He was at the plaza for a while with 47.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But it was always a tough fit for him. And my dad, really became known for his hard work ethic, and he's just so good with people. And so he would never really let anything get him down. And I think this particular thing, though, ended up being so big. I just saw, I saw how it affected him. But what's interesting is talking to him about today, and he goes, "This is worse." He goes, "This is worse than what I remember."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
especially in the last, year and a half,
Like
2
with the
years.
Muslim bans
Yeah,
and
with all the,
stuff.
but and with that, but also with kind of like this whole, this immigrant, focus, the way people are kind of zoning in. Cause he was like, it hasn't happened like this. It's such a wild way to treat people, especially now at this point who, cause as I'm telling you, a lot of Arab immigrants came in the 80s. So this thing happens 15 years after they've been there. But my dad's like, man, we've been here a lot of us been here now going on 40 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it's like we've been here fully longer than we were ever in the countries we came from.
Yes.
Right.
We're like my dad's like, I'm an
Yes,
American. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking
Well, your
about?
father had to have had this added stress as a dad.
Dude.
I would as a dad, you have, whether they've asked you or not, your job's to protect everyone in this family.
Yes.
And now I have these 3 variables out in the world, in a very hostile world. So whatever
Yeah.
his own personal struggles were, I'd imagine he was also, and then your mother too. I don't want to
Of
discount her.
course.
I just speaking as a dad.
Yeah.
That had to be so stressful. If I had to think about my little girls going off to school, knowing that a huge chance that most of the students in there that don't look like them are going to be treating them terribly, this is very stressful.
It's stressful. I mean, and look, and I have to say, part of why I focus on the internal stuff for the characters is I'm not I didn't go to school in this place that was super racist, but it was just this thing where you go, oh, fuck, I already am too short to be good at basketball. And now I got to deal with this shit where I'm
Exactly.
fucking debating and people are asking me do you know those people? And when I was a kid,
Exactly.
it was super, this is one of my first stand-up jokes, but it was one of the first World Trade Center bombers, his name was Ramy Youssef, right? And so when I was a kid, it was literally like, fuck me. Like I am walking around with the
So
same
unfair.
fucking name.
Yeah.
Like, so it was just like nuts. It took me also like in my like 20s first to get off the fucking, like no fly list shit because they
Right,
still had all our shit.
exactly.
Like it's like the same fucking thing. And then you got to like clear that up and do all that.
Why is this guy on the no-fly list? Didn't he already die from flying into the
so
World Trade Center?
crazy, dude.
Did you though feel, because you didn't have an act, although maybe it's a little different because like you said, your name and stuff, but I felt so protective
Yeah.
of my parents and
Yeah.
especially my dad who had this accent, was walking around like very obviously
Yeah,
Indian.
yeah.
I grew up with such a massive sense of protection for them and like feeling like I needed to order at the restaurant
No,
for
yeah.
them.
You're like an interpreter almost for your parents in a way.
Exactly. And like
Yeah.
you're always on the lookout for who's going to hurt them or be mean to them. Or did you have that?
I mean, look, my dad, it's interesting because I think just being New York hotel business, he's like, it's somewhat Hollywood adjacent. Like he wasn't fazed by famous people. He kind of dealt with all these like big figures in dealing just
kind
being
of
in
a
the heart
producer.
of New York. He's a producer.
Yeah.
My dad, like, and as people ask me, anything I know about show running or directing, I learned from my dad in how he dealt with hotels because he deal with
Yeah.
like 500 people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like departments and this and that. And so you kind of focus on how to move through that. But to your point, what I could feel on him was, man, like to have to deal with this stuff when you already have the dad stress, you already have the immigrant stress, you already have this, like, you're just trying to get used to a new place and then this shit, and so that perspective, I think, as we were making this thing, I just felt like has been unexplored, especially of that era. There's not actually a lot of art about that era. And the art that exists is pretty dramatic, rightfully so, because it's a very dramatic thing. But, we kind of started to say, can we step this out? It's a sensitive button, but
Can we do
is there
it?
a way to do it and be hilarious, but also have it be tender and have it be aware? And I think that felt like a worthy challenge. And then that's where it felt like, this would be cool as a cartoon because then you give people the ability to have a little bit of distance of like the quote unquote reality of it.
Yes. But it's doing what Ramy did and what Mo does.
Yeah.
And it's very adjacent and in keeping with what you guys are exploring, which is like heavy shit with comedy, which is delicious.
It's so fun and it feels like, if I were just to be selfish, at least it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to go like kind of work on this thing and work with like a bunch of writers who are super talented and especially on our animated show. Just like such a great room. And, Pam Brady, who worked on South Park was on it with us. And so we got to like, it's just fun to explore these things in that way that, I personally never had. I hadn't seen and I hadn't gotten even like put it through this kind of process, this kind of creative process.
I love that.
And so then when people connect with it, it's such a fun feeling,
Well, it's great. Number one Happy Family USA is on Prime currently. And of course, Mountainhead is on HBO currently.
What is it? HBO again?
No, it's HBO Max.
But I fuck everyone.
I know.
It's like
I know.
HBO is
HBO.
this is what I
let it
said.
be
This,
HBO.
this would be like, Ferrari buys Dodge. And then they rename Ferrari Dodge. That's not the order of event. Like one has enormous
Exactly.
cachet. And Max has always been like, I don't know. Max is the stepsister
know.
to Cinemax is like HBO Light.
I know. That's why they're bringing HBO back into the mix. But I guess Max is like, we still want to.
But then they were like, we're going to actually split the Warner Brothers Discovery thing.
Yes,
After
no.
Dax. I'm just like, just get rid of the Dax then.
I know. I don't like it.
Listen, HBO has the most trusted brand loyalty
It's
of
crazy.
anybody
Yeah.
in the space. Why on earth that wouldn't be the...
Look, and
I
honestly,
agree.
like,
So it's on HBO, guys.
and I don't want anyone to take this, like, David Zaslav is a good friend. So I'm not
Okay.
trying to
He's
like
super
take
close.
this out of, I haven't met him, but I'm trying to say that to kind of like will it into existence. I would like to be a close friend of
Inshallah.
his. And I also have like so many things with it. I got both my specials with them and Mountainhead. And so I feel a kinship to the Zaz.
Sure.
So I kind of am like, he is a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay,
Yeah, and I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, great.
You know, whenever you guys do the like
Savvy.
the description for this episode, you could, for my credit, just put Ramy Youssef, good friend of, you know,
Today,
Zaslav.
I'm
Zaslav's
happy to do that.
best friend.
Yeah. if you-
Also known as.
yeah.
Zazlav's
Yeah,
best
yeah,
friend.
yeah. A good friend of the Zaz.
Well, once again, it was delightful.
Dude.
We'll do it 3 times. I feel confident.
Dude.
You're young and
Come
virile and ambitious.
Come
you'll
on,
you'll
man.
keep making
Anything
stuff.
to come hang with you guys? Are you kidding?
All right, and then Godfather 2.
Exactly. Godfather
no,
2.
we're- I mean, wait, so you haven't even seen one?
No, I haven't seen
Yeah, you're really
anything.
behind. Okay.
Have you ever watched it in order the way they do it?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have or not.
Yeah. By the way, 3, not that bad.
It's not as bad as I remember.
It is not, dude.
Let's pull our guitars out and sing at Monica now.
Can't wait.
We keep Barbieing
and
you.
I want to push you all up. What's that? How's it
God,
go?
they nailed that so.
That's the funniest movie of the last decade.
I know.
Oh my
So
God.
good.
All right, Ramy, I love you.
Yes,
Love
thank
you
you
guys.
so
You guys are the
much.
best. So fun.
Stay tuned for the fact check so you can hear all the facts that were wrong.
This is fun.
We're in a new environment.
We're in a fresh
We
environment.
stole a location.
We did. All blessings and thanks and gratitude to the great Dr. Mike.
Friend of the pod.
If you've not listened to that episode, it's phenomenal.
It is.
Watch it on YouTube because he's so gorgeous.
He's a beautiful doctor.
Oh, he's a beautiful doctor. And we became friends. And he was so generous because we had to come to New York to interview somebody. We don't have a space here.
Yeah.
We looked into renting a space that was very, I don't know, seemed complicated. It should have been easier.
Sure. It was complicated.
And then old Dr. Mike was like, you can film as much as you want. Nah, my
So
student. Yeah, what a
nice.
sweetheart.
So in an upcoming episode, you'll see us in this space.
That's right. We have come here for a big guest, figuratively and literally.
I told an armchair, I've never done this. I've been tempted to do it before,
Okay.
but I told an armchair who we were interviewing today.
You did.
Yeah.
And
She was excited.
she was.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
good.
was very excited. She was such a nice armchair.
Well, that's redundant.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They all are, but I'm just saying this was a very nice girl.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give her some inside
She
scoop.
13?
I don't know how old
Oh,
she
okay.
was.
Okay.
She was working at the Ralph Lauren coffee shop.
Oh, that's where you're getting coffee while you're in New York?
I got a coffee there yesterday on my walk, on my in my shopping time.
Are they like, do they have signature items that are based on their product line? Like, was there a polo?
I just got a cappuccino.
There wasn't a polo cappuccino or?
No, but I
Okay.
did get a mug with the polo bear on it.
Oh, of course.
Of course I did.
How many mugs do you think you have at this current moment?
Oh, I just got rid of some,
Okay.
like
you
4.
You did a cleansing,
I did a cleanse. I would guess I have,
30, 40?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta give props to Kristen. So I think because I publicly shamed her for throwing away all my, or I doubt she threw them away, but got rid of my early Starbucks mugs I was
The
collecting.
best ones. They're
She
huge.
replaced them all for Nashville. That was a big
nice.
surprise. I got to my Keurig machine,
Oh.
and then all of the ones I used to have virtually
That's
were
nice.
there. Yes.
Those are great mugs. They're enormous.
Yeah, you can put 20, 30 ounces of
It's
coffee
a
in
good
them.
size mug.
Although I've switched to the Ember, as you know. So mostly I'm just drinking water out of those Starbies now because Ember keeps it warm, and I try to pace myself and drink slowly
Yeah.
to curb my consumption, which is always an issue in my life. Consumption.
Always.
Yeah.
But it's nostalgic. It's just good for decor,
Yeah.
even if you don't drink.
It makes
out
me
of them.
feel really good when I look at them all.
Yeah,
They're
I
very
bet.
aesthetically pleasing.
They are. They are very pretty. Okay, so you said you had a story for me.
Oh, yes, yes. So we have come to New York because this guest became available. And I was, of course, on vacation. I was driving around my pontoon boat.
Yes.
And of course, I was a little bit like, I I don't want to go. But then I was like, get real. This is a great opportunity. Get over it. So
And a great job.
it's a great, great job. I should be grateful for it and always happy to do. Alas, I said yes. So yesterday morning, I had taken a 9 a.m. flight out of Nashville, which meant I had to wake up at 5:15 so that I could do my meditation and my writing and all that crap, drive to the airport, blah, blah, blah. So I had the goal for the last 3 weeks there to wake up for the sunrise because the sunrise comes up over the lake.
Ooh.
I'm generally getting up around 7 or 8 and it's already kind of up. Still looks pretty, but I'm like, I got to do that. But making yourself wake up at 5:30 on your vacation,
Hard to do.
hard to do, but I did it. Also, I was then able to meditate on the porch because everyone's still asleep. And then I was journaling and it was absolutely spectacular. It was it was really transcendent. It looked so beautiful. It was just pink and then red. And it was just so gorgeous. And I had meditated. It was really, really a nice morning. Flying out was a delight. And I was doing research the entire flight here.
Mm-hmm.
And this person has a doc about them. So I was watching the doc. I had saved it to my iPad. We're coming into LaGuardia. And we're lowering. If you've flown into LaGuardia, you're coming in over the water and then the runway starts, right? So I'm not paying a ton of attention, but from muscle memory, the moment we're supposed to, I can feel we're about to touch the wheels on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most radical and violent pull up I've ever felt. It's like, shh. And then all of a sudden we're like,
oh my God.
Heading back up into the sky. And I was like, oh, I don't like this.
Oh no.
And I have my noise canceling headphones on and I immediately start telling myself, and I'm still watching thing. I was like, you have no control over this.
Yeah.
There's really no point in you even thinking about what's going on.
Yeah.
You're not going to be asked to handle this. You're out of this equation.
Even though if it was a terrorist organization?
Well, I would have seen someone come to then of course, I can't wait to get involved.
Well, that's exactly, yeah.
But because that wasn't happening, that's the only way I could help. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just actively trying to not think about it because I recognize it's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I can't, what?
That's good. That's hard.
I'm successful at that for a while, but then we're now circling. Now, of course, after the fact, I'm clearly alive.
Yeah.
We're probably circling just because we got to get back into the holding pattern.
Yep.
But I'm like, is the landing gear broken? What is the mechanical issue that prevented us from landing? Why are we up here for so long now?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a little off to the races.
You are, okay.
And I start making sense out of stuff that really shouldn't make sense, which is, oh, that's crazy. I just had the greatest 3 weeks at this dream place. My kids are so happy. I got to see the sunrise like I wanted to do. It started I started feeling really suspicious.
This is the
I
end.
guess if there were a perfect time to go, it feels like this.
Oh, Dr. Mike has no wood.
Is suspicious. It started feeling really suspicious. Then, and you'll hate this, I was like, you wouldn't be dead if you hadn't left this trip to go work.
Okay.
You're about to die because you left the sanctioned time to go work.
Okay.
That's in the mix.
Great.
Right. So now I make myself responsible for this calamity that's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's an announcement, but I don't even want to hear it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I know it won't do me any good to hear it. Although it turns out it might have done me some
right.
good.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We come back around, we come down, we land.
Great.
And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then I take my headphones off. And then I turn to her and I say, what was the announcement? And she said, we almost hit an airplane that was crossing the tarmac.
Oh my God.
So we were touching down and one came out onto the runway and we had to pull up to avoid
my
it. So we almost center punched. I don't know how close it was. I wasn't flying the airplane, but Now, here's the funny part. So then last night I'm eating by myself at Quality Meats. Great restaurant. I like to hit it every time I'm in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I'm eating alone, I'm bored because I'm by myself. So now I'm on Instagram and I go into my DMs and I see a DM from Evan Rachel Wood.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I haven't heard from her in a long time. I open up and it goes, I was on your flight. Holy shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I'm
Weird.
I'm like, first of all, why didn't you say hi?
Yeah.
Secondly, yeah, holy shit. I thought for sure the landing gear was broken or something. And da 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 da. Then she sends back a voice memo that says, yeah, I didn't come say hi because I would have to cut in line to come say hi to you, whatever. She goes, additionally, the second we pulled up and went back into the sky, and I'm convinced I'm going to die, and I'm thinking, the person next to me starts yakking in one of those air
No. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, miserable.
You really went through it. Also, she says, I'm thinking about my kids too. She was doing the opposite. She's like, I didn't need to take this vacation. Everyone's guilting out, making themselves responsible.
Yep.
But there was a guy just yakking next to her also.
Yuck.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
my
scary.
story.
That's a good.
It was so funny. I was like, I got out of the airplane, then I got in a cab, and I was just like, I'm so glad to be in this cab and not in that airplane. Which, of course, the cab is probably statistically 25,000 times more dangerous. I'm going to die in the cab than that airplane.
Yeah, exactly. This is a ding, ding, ding because so after I left Nashville, I went home to visit my parents. I went to Atlanta to visit my parents.
Although I'm confused because
I'm
didn't over
confused
Christmas
too.
you said that was home again?
Okay, I'm confused too.
Okay.
But I imagine if people hear me say I went home from Nashville, I went to LA.
That's
I
a
didn't.
good distinction. to
Yes.
make,
So
yeah.
I went to visit my parents. And my dad has been following the Air India crash a lot. So he was very up to date
Yeah.
on what's been going on. And, currently the theory is that the pilot did it on purpose and committed suicide and then killed all those people. And because they can hear, I guess, on the black box, on the recording, they can hear the co-pilot ask the pilot, why did you move this or switch this or whatever? And he said, I did not. And then 10 seconds later, it got switched back, but it was too late. So that's the theory, but
It
they're
had
doing
nothing to do with seahorses, did it?
Well,
And his lack of understanding of what a
it
seahorse
could
was.
have. We'll never
Okay.
know.
Boy,
It's so dark.
that is really rough.
They're doing an investigation. A lot of people in India don't think he did it. So it's a thing.
The amount of thoughts I had in that time, like I had that whole scenario I just talked about.
Yeah.
But then I also had this whole other debate where I was like, you have to honor your life and be grateful right now. It was so good.
Yeah.
And your daughters are so beautiful. The only thing that was preventing me from having like total gratitude for my life is the thought of my girls growing up without me
Oof.
was just like so heartbreaking. I was
awful.
imagining like how well positioned they are currently
Yeah.
and how disruptive that would be. And then I'm thinking, I hope I did enough while I was here.
Yeah.
And just I'm picturing my
so
little
much.
Delta with no one to snuggle. It was rough.
Yeah.
I hated that part. And then, I also had the thought, I wonder if we'll land in the Hudson. Like if
Yeah,
there's
I
no
thought-
landing gear and all this other
yeah.
stuff, like will we land in the Hudson? I'm a good
I
swimmer.
was gonna say, good thing you know how to swim well.
Don't panic.
Yeah.
People do survive landing in the Hudson. I mean, it was
Yeah.
the amount of thoughts I had in that
That's-
20 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
Very scary. Well, I'm glad you made it.
me too. Me too.
I'm really glad you made it.
And then I literally was like, I'm never flying again, which is so stupid because I'm still going places.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
to.
I
You
know,
can't
I know.
I mean, that's your whole motto.
I know.
It's like,
That's right.
Just
you don't know
do
what's
it.
going to get you. Because I get hit by lightning one day or something. You just don't know.
you don't know, and you
you're
got to live your life.
You're almost guaranteed to not die of the thing you're worrying about dying of.
Yeah. Once you landed and stuff, have you thought, because you're thinking about the girls and it's like, God, they're so lucky, and they are, right? They're so lucky. Did you ever have the thought like, I mean, I didn't die on this, but like, what are the chances it's going to be at 100 for them for the rest of their life? Like that's scary. That starts getting scary. It's like, for me, it would start prompting, yeah, so this bad thing didn't happen, but like how something bad.
I immediately was so mad that I've never sat down and written them 2 letters to be opened if anything ever happens to me. Like I got so mad because I just would want to write them a letter that would say, you're going to be fine.
Right.
You're so strong.
Yeah.
And lesser people have survived this, and you're going to, because you're both bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I was really mad I hadn't ever taken the time to do that.
Right.
I guess it's kind of morbid to do it, but I think I'm going to.
It's so interesting. It's not very like you to like plan for disaster.
Yeah, but they have a knack for making me do all kinds of things that are not consistent
that's
with
a
who
good
I
thing,
am.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gift that they give you, is you have to become patient. You have to not care if all your shit's fucked up. You have to care,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one more thing. Ding, ding, ding. My dad, I told you this, but he has declared his retirement plan, which is he's going to master or understand quantum physics. Quantum mechanics. Yeah.
Yes.
That's his goal. And I was like, oh my gosh.
How long before he retires?
He retires in January.
He does? Are you nervous for him?
I am, but I'm happy. So he's nervous for him, which is, but I think that's a good thing. He's hyper aware and like he's like making plans.
He's not naive that it's going to be a hard adjustment.
Yes. He's like, I'm going to learn about this. I'm going to join a pickleball league.
Oh, great.
Yeah. He has plans, which made me feel relieved.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
My Papa Bob, who I've told you was the longest employee ever at Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
Wonder Bread. There's an R in
Wonder
there.
Bread Bakery.
Wonder Bread Bakery.
Yeah, that's hard.
He was forced to retire because he had an ulcer he didn't know about that got so bad it blew out of his stomach.
Ew.
While he was carrying a 50-pound bag of flour.
Ugh.
There's a lot to that story. I went and visited him in the hospital, and I saw them putting a catheter in his penis, and I was like, oh my God, Papa Bob's penis is the size of a baseball bat. That's a side note.
Okay. Is that because it was swollen?
I don't know. He just had a huge hog, I guess.
Oh, you never saw it till then?
I had never seen it. I seen him in his tighty whities all the time. They're saggy,
Sure,
Papa style.
Grandpa style.
He had no shepherd, no butt. Big barrel belly and 0 butt cheeks, so the tighty whities hung on.
Yeah, there was space between.
Yeah, and I never really noticed how much action was in the front. Anywho, he was forced to retire because of that.
Yeah,
and he was depressed.
Yeah,
he had like 2 years of for real depression.
Yeah,
and then he got a job just like delivering, I think, hearts and kidneys, like medical things on ice, and that kind of brought him out
something
of it.
to do. Yeah, you gotta have something to do.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess maybe we should do some facts now that we talked about the penis.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's a fact. Papa Bob had a hog.
Okay, so some facts for Ramy. We love Ramy.
Yes, we do. Sweetest boy. Almost impossible he's in show business.
I feel like he maybe came out around the same time as Gerard last time. I feel like I remember those two being sort of out around the same time, and then it's happening again, which is wild.
And they were both in Poor Things.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're linked celestially.
Okay, let's do some. Okay, so we talked about how Obama deported more people than Trump, which is definitely true. Let's see here. This is an article on Vox.
says how Obama deported so many people. Obama's immigration enforcement strategy was two-pronged, increasing penalties for unauthorized crossings at the southern border and deputizing local law enforcement to target immigrants with criminal records inside the U.S. The former increased the number of people who faced official removal proceedings and deterred repeat border crossers, and the latter allowed ICE to have its ear to the ground in cities throughout the country. Before Obama, unauthorized border crossers were typically allowed to voluntarily return to Mexico without undergoing an official process or being subjected to any penalties. That meant that many attempted to recross the border, knowing that they would not face repercussions for doing so. The Obama administration started subjecting a greater proportion of them to formal deportation proceedings. Yeah, utilizing an expanded federal immigration enforcement workforce that had grown from 12,700 in 2003 to 22,000 in 2008.
I remember this period. There was a 60 Minutes on it. And yeah, they were sometimes catching the same person and returning them to the border twice in one day. Like while they were filming, they watched it happen within a single day.
Yeah. Donald Trump promised his supporters the largest deportation program in American history, but he's nowhere close. That distinction belongs to an early 20th century program that likely saw 2 million people deported. When looking at more recent times, it's President Barack Obama, who holds the 21st century deportation record. His administration kicked out 438,421 people in 2013. No president since has come close to equaling that record, including Trump during his first term.
500,000.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's 6 Super Bowl stadiums.
I mean, obviously people have different opinions on immigration and stuff, but I think actually most people would agree that a lot of people would agree that you can't just have like an open border and have people coming through, and it's just the way to do it. Like there are ways to do it that don't feel cruel and inhumane.
I mean, my real belief is that the majority of people wanted the flow of people to stop coming in. And I think the majority of people aren't dying to deport a ton of the people that are here. I'm hearing that on the left and the right. I think that's kind of you have Schultz saying those people should stay. You have Theo Vaughn saying, you have people that were calling for tougher immigration, saying like, no, let the people that are here stay, but you got to stop this crazy flow.
A lot of people think, though, that a bunch of them are criminals and that they all need to leave. So that's,
I haven't met those folks, but I'm sure they exist.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of ran on immigrants are criminals. Okay, the reporter who said Emma Stone's name was Emily, he's from Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay. That's where Borat was from?
I don't know. I didn't ever, I never saw any of the Borats.
Yeah, I think he was from Kazakhstan.
Well, it changed his whole life, he said, that moment.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I was completely unaware of that. Were you aware of that? Was that a big viral moment I missed?
Yeah. I think I was the one who brought it up on this episode.
Oh, okay. And what happened?
So at a press conference or something a couple years ago, he said, Emily, blah, 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 blah. And someone said, Emma. And like correcting him. And she said, no, my name is Emily. And, so then I guess that moment for him where he knew her name changed his whole life.
Oh, okay. So he was right.
Yeah, he was right. And then at Cannes.
That's their country motto, Kazakhstan. We always get it right.
Yeah, and they do. And then, at this year's Cannes Film Festival, he was there again. And he was also interviewing her, I think, for I don't know what. But he told her, like, I was that guy and my career is skyrocketed and my personal life is better. Okay, this was wild. This was wild. So when we were talking about Emily Stone, you said that you were not very good at like, if you are obsessed with someone, you wouldn't be as good as me at like knowing all the details about them.
Right. Yes.
And then you said, like, if I knew Matt Damon's name was Kent, middle name was Kent, or real name was Kent, or something like that. You said something like that. And I was like, I think that's his dad's name. And it is.
No.
Yes.
Kent Damon?
Yes. Yeah. And he was very close with his dad.
Okay. Very good son, I'm sure.
Yeah. And when he did SNL some years ago, a lot of the monologue was about his dad because they would watch it together. And it was sweet.
Aw.
Anyway, isn't that weird? You just pulled that name out of your ass and it was his dad's name.
Out of my arse. Someone wrote in the comments about Alexander Skarsgård. And I'm inclined to think they were either in England or Ireland because they tend to use the word arse.
Oh.
And it was a normal lady and it said, I would suck a fart out of his arse.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's still live in my comments if you don't believe me. And I thought, wow, go get it, girl. That's a huge swing.
Wow.
But it really does, it does tell you the level of which she is obsessed with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
questions left on the table after you hear that.
You're not ambivalent about someone that you would suck the fart out of their arse.
Whew. I wonder, wow.
Yeah, would you? Yeah, you would, Matt.
I don't want to answer this. 'cause-
Okay, yeah, that's a little too much. The reason I shone a light on it because it's extreme.
It's extreme.
Maybe privately at a dinner party you might admit to that, but maybe in public you'll keep a lid on it.
I'm just imagining doing it. Like,
Sure.
you're really.
I should follow up with her and ask, is there a straw involved?
No,
a tube,
I think
or
it's
it's
mouth.
direct?
It's direct.
It's a kiss.
It's
It's a kiss to the anus.
You know what's funny is like, I don't think just putting your mouth on someone's butthole is gross, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
if
who
it's
cares?
clean, if it's clean.
Sure.
And
If they brushed. I thought you meant the mouth.
yeah, the mouth. As long as the mouth is clean, as long as I am brushed, I feel fine about it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, what if someone said, like, how do you feel about ass eating? And you said, well, if you brush your teeth. You thought they were asking you, and then you insisted that they brush their teeth.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think that is gross, really. But there's something about the idea of like
Gas.
yeah, in your mouth.
It's not even like there's something like you're like, I don't know. It sounds great, but no, it's really on the surface. It's not terribly appealing.
Well, good for that lady and whoever
I know.
she's with.
Yes, good for her lover.
Yeah, that's lucky.
Yeah. I should develop a relationship with her and find out more details. Like, does she have a lover?
Right. Has
Yeah.
she ever actually done that? We need to know.
Right. Or is it just it could be a total figure of speech, like break a leg on a play. And if someone in England's like, I don't know, this person was American, they wanted the actor to break their leg while they were doing the performance.
It's like,
That
it's
seems
confusing.
sadistic.
Yeah.
And they could really be trying to figure out what's behind that, but there's nothing behind it. It's just a saying.
It's just a regular old saying.
So if that's a really common saying in the UK, in the comments, just respond with, yes, we say that a lot.
Okay. Is Budapest one of the original crossroads from the east to west? Yes. Budapest is often considered a crossroads from east to west due to its geographic location, historical influences, and the blending of cultural elements. It sits at the intersection of various geographical regions and civilizations, particularly between Western and Eastern Europe. It's been a meeting point for different cultural and political spheres.
Right.
That's it. Now, he said Trump and LeBron are the most AI people. I didn't really find that. There's like a bunch of people that have like a fair amount of deep fakes. I couldn't get like topsies. Like Taylor Swift is on all the lists.
Mm-hmm.
She's popular for that. Scarlett Johansson.
Mm.
I think because people...
Do sexual things with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but that is probably what it was. Okay. Now, how many dogs are put down a day in the U.S.? Approximately 568 dogs are euthanized in U.S. shelters every day. This equates to roughly one dog every 2.5 minutes.
Right. So the criticism of the Sochi Olympics might have been A little hypocritical.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, he said he thought that, and not to quote him, so I'm not, but in the Muslim religion, the soul encasement, he said he thought was around 100 days. So in Islam, the general belief is that soul encasement occurs around 120 days, 4 months after conception. This is the time when the fetus is believed to receive its soul, marking a significant stage in its development. I looked up whether abortion was legal in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
It is in limited circumstances. Specifically, abortions are permitted when there's a risk to the pregnant woman's life or to protect her physical and mental health. Mental health is interesting. Pregnancies
That's a broad. Yeah, it's a
Yeah. Pregnancies resulting from incest or rape also qualify for legal abortion under the mental health exemption.
Well, here's where you get into some tricky. You can have a very liberal abortion policy if it's illegal to have sex out of wedlock.
Right.
Like if there's Sharia law and you can't have sex out of wedlock, that's already a crime to have become pregnant in a sense.
Yeah.
Then it kind of renders abortion moot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the scenario, but there are lots of countries that are under Sharia law.
Yeah, that is true. Should I look it up? What countries are under
Is it a crime to have sex out of wedlock?
Sharia law?
But I'm not sure if Sharia law includes that, but I should find out too.
Okay. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan have Sharia as the supreme law of the land, while others like Egypt, Nigeria, and Malaysia incorporate Sharia into specific areas like family law or personal status law. The extent and interpretation of Sharia also differ significantly across these countries.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the list where it's illegal to have sex out of wedlock. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Qatar or Qatar, UAE, Sudan, Indonesia, Malaysia. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's not a fair abortion claim there, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah.
That's true, but the abortion laws, the 6-week abortion ban and stuff here, it has nothing to do with marriage. Like you could be married and it doesn't matter.
My point is if it's illegal to become pregnant
Out of
out of
wedlock.
marriage.
Yeah. You're saying that decreases the chances that people would even be wanting to get one.
Yeah, so you're pregnant and you're going to go to jail for, or be criminally charged for having sex. What is the difference between that? And then the abortion doesn't fall, the ones you just listed, it doesn't meet that criteria. So in practice, they might as well have a no abortion law because you're not even legally allowed to have sex out of marriage. And if you're married, the only way you can have abortion is if somehow your wife got raped or somehow there was incest.
Or mental health,
You know what I'm
though.
saying?
I guess that's what So
It's like saying there's no speed limit in Saudi Arabia, but it's illegal to drive a car. And if someone's like, well, no, other countries don't care about speeding. There's no speed limit in Saudi Arabia. And you're like, yeah, and it's also illegal to drive in Saudi Arabia. You can't even get to the part where you have an abortion. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But I guess because we're talking about out of wedlock versus in wedlock. So here, though, with the abortion laws that are 6 weeks, it's even if you're married, you can't get one after that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the point is there, you could if you're married. It's saying all things considered that you're married.
And you meet all the criteria that you just listed.
Right. I mean, it seems like theirs is more of a 4-month thing as opposed to this 6-week thing. Okay. Well, that might be it for Ramy facts.
Well, I love him. I can't wait till he comes back.
Me too.
Me too. All right. Love you.
you.